Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, due to the time differences. I hope everyone and their families are doing well. Today is going to be me, and Suffer Samuel Koso will resume next week by the grace. So I'm going to be discussing um, the tragic death of the late gospel musician Osinachi, and what are some of the things that can be done to prevent uh, um, uh, you or any of us, each other, to empower each other to not become the next victim. So before I start, let me just play uh, one of her songs, Ukunami. Hello, how's everybody doing? I hope by the grace everyone and their families are doing well. Um, Playing the late gospel musician Osinachi's song, you know, as I said yesterday, when she sings, it touches the soul. And at times, when someone is alive, to tell you the truth, like I have heard some of her songs, but I never, I heard it from someone playing the song, so I didn't know who sang the song. I didn't bother to figure out who is singing the song because I didn't think it was of importance. But it touches the soul. Most times, you have people singing along with songs that touches their soul. And some of her the wording and the things that she says when she's singing, you know uh one can say she was not um she was not ignorant on, or like, unaware of domestic violence. She's a woman with knowledge, and independent, but in terms of, breadwinner, who would have been able to take care of herself and her four children if she had left her husband, divorced her husband, but she didn't. And one should ask themselves, we should ask ourselves as to why she did not leave her abusive husband. And I cannot answer that for her. Most of us cannot answer that for most abusers, most victims that end up being killed by their significant other who has been abusive to them for years and years and years. Some of the things that we as humans, people, we need to understand is that when it comes to victims of an abuse, um, if you're not in it or you have not experienced such thing, being outside of in an abusive relationship, it may seem or feel easy for it to be done. But abusers are very charming. Abusers are coward. Abusers are weak. Abusers are insecure. They are very jealous. Some of them are narcissists. Some of them are psychopaths. Some of them are seriously ill. And most abuses come from an abusive home environment, an abusive marriages, an abusive family home, or being raised by some family member. It's difficult. So, like, we can judge people reaction, but her death has triggered a lot of emotions, and we can sit and talk about what could have been done better, how she could have lived, but at the end of the day, she's dead. We cannot bring her back. However, there are millions of people all over the world that are going through what she went through, are still alive. Yet they do not have the support system that they will be able to use the resources to get out of an abusive marriages, because abusers, they don't just start beating their victims. It's like they groom you. They start from somewhere. Normally will trigger from, in terms of, we have the two most dangerous abuse, which is emotional and psychological. But the emotional starts with verbal abuse, and then it goes down to having, turn into developing to emotional abuse. They get into your head, mental slash psychological abuse. So they basically, they will groom you and break you little by little up to a point, whereas you, the victim, your abuser becomes your only savior. And by the time you get to that level, you have they the abuser had isolate you from all your loved ones, your family, your friends, your coworkers, people that will be more inclined to provide you the resources that you can follow through, to leave them, because they know that if they don't remove your loved ones around you, you're going to end up leaving them. And some women are not so lucky to be able to leave such marriages. And many times what happens is that they end up losing their life, which is something that it should not happen in one's life. Marriage is, you when you get married, marriage is one of the companionship that you have two people that love each other, care for each other, comes together. You don't come together, I mean, nobody, we talk about nobody married their enemies, but sometimes you do marry your worst enemy. It doesn't start like that. uh, we have people who are really like charming and good enough, they are able to hide their inner monsters, menace, pathological, psychopath, sickness within them. And when one is raised in an abusive home environment, marital environment, they either grow up to become an abuser themselves, or they become the victim, because that's something that is a norm for them. And at times, you have a small percentage, I said this yesterday, that they will get the counseling, the help that they need, and they will become a lovely, caring husband or wife. And then you do have, some amount of percentage that they were not raised in an abusive relationship or marriages, and they grow up to become an abuser. And some people will be like, how is that possible? The people that we allow in our life, the people that we listen to, the people that we talk to, we share our inner thoughts with, the people that we give our power to, they will groom us, brainwash, and do so many things to the point that we are put in chain. And there are some chains that are invincible. You cannot see it, because our brains can be manipulated into doing anything. Sometimes, you find some people, Sister Yatobra said these words a whole lot. Most people find themselves in a helplessness, or hopelessness, situation, that they are stuck. They can't do anything. They feel like they don't have anyone. Abusers, they are the most dangerous individual that one can end up living with. Brother Ankra Akwesi, near Brother Ankra, let me know if you want me to give you the link for you to come through and, um, also talk about some of this, or you can put your contribution there. I welcome each and every one of you. Evangelist Alego George Mimawo Akwaba. Good evening to you as well. Memi haye wia ba memi nim se wo honom no eye enwumre. Me sha ase enche ane to say normally Saturdays this time, I will be live with Sofo Samuel Koso, but due to the Easter Sunday, his church have a lot of programs scheduled, and he has to be the one traveling back and forth. So it wasn't fair for me to, like, uh add our program to it. I know that's something that he has committed to, but he apologized for not being able to do live program today, but he will resume next week by the grace. And happy Easter, advanced Easter Sunday to everyone. Oh no, Balanka, yajiwo so sister Nana Abneni Obapa Apomu Etisen. Hope say yes, wadom any ni shira ohun eyepa. Brother Brian, hey, you have landed. Let me know if you want me to send you the link. Into say be why you happier. Why you busy? I did the say happy. Why you busy? I bet me about no other no tough mammy. And 10 times so now. And Rano, me I came prepared with a lot of pointers and a lot of things. I like to learn. We all need to learn. Learning can never, be enough. And we can never stop learning until, like, we will leave this world, and learning will still go on. So, like, sometimes, you have people saying, when they see a tragic happens or something happens, someone being killed, that most of the times what people will say is like, this will never happen to me. But you also have to understand, say, when you don't build your emotional and psychological strength, okay, when it comes to the mind, everyone can get into your head. As smart as you can be, as educative as you can be, as independent as you can be, as breadwinner as you can be, most most victims are people with low income and dependent. However, there is another, how you make say, another percentage, that people that we feel and think are strong enough, will withstand, and will not allow themselves to be abused or to be caught up in an abusive marriage. Now, they do get caught up with it. And this is one of the proof, you know. Late gospel musician, Mrs. Osinachi, she was one of those. And there are many, right? I think Sister Yatubra sent this video to one of the group that she and I are in there. Let me see if I can pull it, and I will play it here. I wasn't going to play that, but I should have. And you have this young man narrating, how five um, individual, educative, breadwinner women were killed by their abusive husbands, right? Sister Yatora, you will come. My brother Brian may send ya bro, sissy. I'm trying to get the hello about Sister Aisha Ankra. But yesterday I miss you, pa. Today, Suffer will resume next week. Why? A StreamYard, StreamYard.com. Okay, you guys give me 1 second. I just played this song, but being that some of you were not here as I'm doing this, let me just replay the song again. And then when I finish sending Brother Brian the link, I will turn it off. So I mean, as I said, when you hear her sing, it touches the soul. And before I go off, I'll play the song again for those, or who loves her songs and listen to her songs. Some people, when they do listen to her song, it gives them hope, and like it's disheartening to think and know now she's no more, if she was giving herself hope through her songs, but at the end of the day, some of the steps and the things that she should have taken and done did not happen. I don't know, her strength, how did that not come about, and how she's dead, and her being killed now. How we know how she died, being beaten um, into coma. And sometimes, we talk about you have to what walk in somebody's shoes to know how it feels like. But for me, I definitely do not want to walk into victims of an abuse shoes, because I will not be able to, like, um, endure the pain that they chose to endure. And for me, if you use your pinky, you will be you will go to jail, because I'll make sure I gather all the evidence that will put you away for good. Brother Brian,
Yes, mommy.
you looking awesome. Now,
Thank
say
you.
sometimes I feel like when a brother ankra mu nyina mu ye mini enketwa. And so many mo te ho no ma mumu bia nyinya dwom.
Oh, ɛno deɛ mɛnhwɛ no saa hwɛ no saa yɛ a wobɛmu no ahwɛ na wagya yɛ hɔ kɔ.
Oh, so
Ɛwɔ mu ɛyɛ part of the how would I put it? I say deɛ nyame pɛ sɛ ɔyɛ wate ase.
no correct.
Nti no woka sɛ wohwɛ no saa deɛ a me brother panin ebi nni ne ti ho saa but me deɛ all over.
It's amazing. I have some of my cousins and my younger siblings, that have my younger brother who is after me. He has gray hair, a whole bunch of them.
Wow.
And for me, I only have one. I forgot which side is, like, at. But my 13-year-old Nana Kwesi, when he was born, he had one gray hair in his hair.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was surprised. I remember one of my uncle came to see him. I was sleeping, and when he came, he said Nana Kwesi was like laying in his bed with his hand, over his cheek, like
Yeah, he was thinking about
maybe
himself.
a wardrobe.
He was thinking about himself.
No, that's wonderful. That's true.
Mhm.
I know. Like, I don't know. But my mom said for me to stop asking for gray hair, because once it starts, now I'm going to start complaining. Why do I have gray hair? This and that. So I'm going to not complain at
And you
all.
know one thing, what you kind of continuously ask for is
Hmm.
what you don't get.
Oh, so I
Yeah.
will continue to ask for it.
You ask for it until you have it. By the time you have it, you grow out of it, like expecting it, loving to have it, and all that. It will
Yes.
just be a normal thing to you. I
Now.
can't remember my sister, but that's my stepsister.
Hmm.
Um, she used to like rock shoulders with me over height.
Okay.
Right. We used to like we're almost the same height, and
Like
she started going like
you were like racing each other to see who is going to be the tallest.
yes, and I wasn't doing that. She always comes up with that, and
Oh.
it got to a time she would kind of stretch and go like, "I'm getting taller than you." I'm getting. I was like, you know what? Before you know it, you will start to beg for me to just go down a little bit so you can
Stop
bring.
growing.
And it happened.
Oh
It
wow.
happened within a year or so. I shooted up, and she was kind of shrinking back.
Like my younger brother and I, like, when we were teenager, he was the shortest of us all, right? And then after high school, he went to first year of college. He started growing. So he called me one time. He was like, "Sis, I want to stop growing." I was like, "Why are you telling me? I'm not the one making you taller." So he's the tallest of all of us, even with our cousins. He was the shortest, but now he's the tallest. Now, when I think within my family, I'm the shortest person in there. Like the
Oh
11-year
wow.
old, she's up to here,
Oh
right?
wow.
She's coming. And their dad will be like, "Oh my gosh, now you still going to be the shortest." I'll be like, "You know what? That's why I'm taking pictures now. So in the future, when I'm Facebook, when you see me posting pictures and I'm taller than my youngest, in 6 months from now, that's some old pictures I'm sharing because I'm not going to share any pictures that she's taller than I am."
Oh, I feel like crying for you because you've realized it already.
I'm telling you, I'm just being ahead of the game. So, Brother Brian, I mean, kind Sister Aisha comment
Right,
our author about Sister Ya for that to brother's comment, and then I will ask you a question that has been like really eating into me, right?
right, right.
Regarding our sister Osinachi's killing.
Sure.
Sister Ayusha Ankra says she was singing for her own healing and hope, which is, like sometimes, oh my gosh, you can feel somebody's pain through their singing, right? But when she was alive, her song was healing and hope for other people, and keep other people hopeful. And she may have been singing her despair, right? What she was going through and everything. But some of us were not focused on that. And I said earlier, until her passing, I have heard some of her song here and bits and pieces here and there, but I never connected that she's the one that sings the song. I didn't bother to uh investigate to see who sang that song because at the time it wasn't of importance to me, right? But playing her songs, like you can really feel her pain, right? And Sister Ya for that to say, yeah, in hindsight, I am now feeling the pain in her voice, right? It's like you have someone, you close to someone, they crying, they in pain, and you can't hear it, right? When you are put in cage and you screaming, "Somebody help me," but nobody can hear you because they don't see what you going through. Now the question that I have is that how did it come to this? How did it get to this level?
Well, thank you.
You welcome.
Um, I pray God gives me the wisdom to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how it got here or how it came to this, I would say she may have lost track, or whoever is going through this. So many people don't get prepared
Mm-hmm.
for the worst, right?
That's right.
So let me just take it on that side, and I believe I can flow.
Okay.
So many people don't get prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they don't expect such outcomes.
Mm, mm, mm.
Right. So before anything, or before they could act, they are in that hot water already.
Mm.
So let me take it from another angle. If our sister would have expected anything in her marriage and from the marriage she was in,
Mm-hmm.
not just the good side, but also the bad side,
That's right.
she could have gotten herself prepared in a way. Right. So, one of the things that I want to say is, when you are in an abusive marriage, you have to ask yourself one or two questions. It doesn't start from just a point,
Mm-hmm.
it starts from somewhere and it starts small.
Yeah.
So, what constituted whatever she went through, and even to the point that she was hit so hard for her to fall into coma.
5 days before she died.
Yes, she never got herself prepared.
Hmm.
She never got herself ready to 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 have accepted what was going on.
And she could have been in shock, because sometimes you know how you, when something caught you off surprise, you'd be like, no, this is not happening to me. Maybe if
Exactly.
I have to do this, it will stop on its own. Or like, as most Christians would do, let me just pray for it and God will uh make a difference,
As
help him change, because he is a good person. Abusers, they know how to groom their victims, right? They'll tell you the things that you want to hear. They will isolate you from your loved ones. The reason they isolate you from your loved ones, that they want to make sure, say, at the end of the day, even though they are the person abusing you, they become your savior. Because how many abusers uh beat their wife, at the end of the day, in the night, they say, honey, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me, I keep telling you, you get me upset, don't do these things. And then they will give you a list of things that you did that trigger them to getting losing control, right? So they make it your fault, and you, the victim, you have to do things that you think will not get him over there, right? And to add to what you said, for me, this is how I see it. Sometimes it gets to this level, right? Because a lot of people have many poor characteristics, good or bad, right? And they have simply closed their mind to not learn anything that will be beneficial to build themselves up. When you may have an independent breadwinner, educative woman, right? That can still have low self-esteem, right? That will not be assured of themselves. That will not have value of themselves. And our society is like, most women are females are raised to worship their husband, to take care of their husband, to do whatever their husband want, to make sure so they don't get their husband upset. Don't leave your marriage, no matter what your husband does. Just stay in the marriage. If you're a Christian and you get a divorce, you have sinned and you're going to hell, and nobody will want to be around you. We have people who had like spoken about, um, if she had left her marriage, right? A lot of the culture, because of the culture, tradition, and society would have abandoned her. They would not even, book her to come and sing. Her music career will be over, but she will still be alive, right? She
yes.
won't be dead. As of today, we having this discussion. Since I am for that to rest, sis, it is the script we the women are giving on culture and religion. It has
And
not
and
stayed for us.
and then Ajua, one thing I want us to look at is the same society, the same community is going to mourn you when something comes out this way,
Double
or when it
standard,
comes out this way.
hypocrisy.
Exactly. So if I'm left alone, I'll say wherever you are, whatever relationship which in you find yourself, sit down, look around. That is why you have to build your own self security.
Yep,
You get it?
self-esteem,
Build,
self-assurance.
yes, build that security around you because you
Hmm.
cannot trust anybody. Let's look at our sister, like we are talking about her.
Hmm.
Who knows where the husband started from?
That's right.
She may have started as an everyday man.
Hmm.
Oh, sweetie, honey, babe,
Darling.
and all sort of things.
Hmm.
Right. But little did she expected him to turn out to be this beast.
Yep, sleeping with the enemy.
Exactly. Right. But that the whole thing baffles me to the extent that why didn't she even realize what she was in?
You know, Brother Brian, you asked a good question, and then we have to look at it in a different perspective, right? Sometimes when we know someone, we, as you said, you made a point already. She knows her husband, where he's from, where he comes from, and how he gets to where he got, right?
Yes.
He We have people who are psychopaths, as you mentioned. Brother Obi came and
Okay.
mentioned, we spoke a little bit about it.
Mhm.
Their demeanor and behavior, it fluctuates. It's not the same, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes gradually, it's like when a lion is ready, a lion is preying on another animal. What does it do? It waits. It just don't come and latch on the other animals. You know, it's creeping, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Little by little, and they wait till the time that they know, okay, this is it, I can go in for it, right? That's
Yes.
part of the grooming. So like sometimes you being the person that knows this person from, you know, when you guys started, the way they treated you, how they are, you see the good in them. So you don't think, you know, you think about how they used to be and where they are, and you find out, okay, maybe the devil is using him, you know. And some of us, you know, we want to use prayers and, you know, for God to change, you know, people that we care for. But God gave us the brain, not for the brain to sit in our head
Mhm.
and chill. You know, he gave us the brain because he knows that there are some things on this earth now, it cannot be done by him. We as human need to be able to figure out how best we can protect ourselves, how best we can be happy, how best we can do things to make sure that we have peace of mind. So I mean, I love to pray all the time to protect myself, my family, going out, people that I care for. But I know, say, in order for me to put food on the table, I have to work. Without work, I will have to start begging people for money, right?
Yeah.
So knowing this, you know, why shouldn't I go look for a job when an opportunity opens up? So it's the same thing in marriages. There are some things in that we cannot change each other. We can positively influence one another by role modeling. But there are some people now, they have brain in their head, but their brains are not activated. It's deactivated. And those people, you know, they can only function when someone directs them, right? So those people, you know, they lack of a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and they are controlling, and they do things and say things that will break you. And
Mhm.
it's easy to get, you know, to break someone. Brother Brian, if you like if my husband is telling Kay is telling me, he said, I'm not good in bed, right? I don't look beautiful. Um and then he's telling me I'm too fat, you know. And for me, I draw though, if I don't have my self confidence, I have not worked on myself, right? I don't do self care. I am insecure, and I get jealous so easily. Now, all these things put in a box together, no, that's going to gradually start being effect, because I don't have the confidence that I'm supposed to have for myself,
Exactly.
right? So as time goes on, I will start believing what my husband is telling me, right? Which means he said I will not be able to perform. I will feel so disgusted that, you know, I will see myself as an ugly person, right? Even though I'm not. And that will be, it started with the verbal and then emotional. Right now, no, it's like, you know, it has become part of my thinking, right? And then it gets to, like, you know, mental. You have people, they get depressed, you know, they get anxiety disorder, they get bipolar, and so many other mental health issues because of something that someone they close to say to them. They say what? The person who can hurt you the most is the person that's what, Brother Brian?
Close to you.
Closer to you. So let me read some comments and then I'll throw it back to you because you were
Sure.
making great point earlier when you were talking. Sister Ayusha Ankra Ebo Wabaso, she said, "Thank you, my
Thank you,
brother."
my Ghana Airways big sister.
I know, right? Brother Isaac Amweni, Yamawo Akwaba, welcome. She said, "Please, good evening, mom." And that, please, good evening to you as well. And then Sister Yafoda Atobra said, "Gas lightning in Kwan, just absurd. Tell me about it." Brother Obi, Yamawo Akwaba, and they say you did, right? I will learn there. I will come, I will come. Good afternoon, Odo. Good afternoon to you as well. And then Sister Ayusha Ankra says, yeah, domestic abuse often relies on isolating the victim. The perpetrator works to weaken her connections with family and friends, making it extremely difficult to seek support because that's your support system. Once it's broken, the abuser, becomes your support system.
Yes.
And perpetrators will often try and reduce a woman's contact with the outside world to prevent her from recognizing that his behavior is abusive and wrong.
Right.
Isolation leads women to become extremely dependent on their controlling partners. Sister Aisha, thank you. Hey.
And exactly was our sister's predicament.
Yes.
The husband was able to break all this territories. Like he was able to bury her.
Yeah.
Right. In whatever he had built for her.
Yeah.
And if she had continued to gain contact with her family, with the outside people, loved ones, and all that, they would have been able to help her out of it.
Yeah.
Right. But look at it. When people were trying to help, she was begging them
to stop.
To stop.
You know why? Because he had, as Sister Aisha said, the isolation, it leads to them, becoming dependent on their controlling partners. Because in his mind, if I stay away from my support system, he will not kill me. If I stay with my support system, he will not hurt me. Even the beatings are hard, but I will survive because I survived yesterday. I survived a month from now. So, they also, the victim becomes, as brother
Kwame
Bedu, brother Obi says, she just became adapted to his abuse and didn't think it could kill her.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Because
exactly.
he had gotten her exactly where he wanted her to be. And then Sister Aisha Ankra said the perpetrator can manipulate big time because, of course, they're charming. They know what to say, what to do, how to go about things, even though they mistreating you very badly, right? They don't give you any love, any empathy. When each stroke that comes to her, and I was not in her position because but I dealt with an abusive victim before, and I mean, when I got involved, the abuser threatened me that if the reason that his wife is now have moved out of the house, right? So he told us to watch out, but because we had so many evidence, because when she comes, we see the bruised eyes, and there are pictures taken and everything. Every time she goes to his house, she comes back with, bruises and stuff. But we pushed it and pushed it. At the end of the day, sometime later that we felt that we found her a place to stay and everything, she ended up going back to him, right? And once that happens, the person that's helping, if you do not remove yourself out of that, now you becomes the target. the
Yeah.
victim, right? And for me, immediately some of the biameka, mean kwasi ewo de me wubio. Once I knew say this was happening, no, me catch me penny say sa you know, me ntimi nye bi because say me number bi a papa bet me the ade ahwe tiri makume. Because nipa na ye boa no no say no, was say we should leave her alone. Because the bear man no eja ne bro. And you know, the next time, 3 months later, she called, say, Wabuno. And you know, we connect her with another people because we didn't want to take over from there because we know, say, she will go back. And yet again, she did went back, right? And
Mhm.
then it didn't happen the third time because he died, right? He beat her to death. And you know, you maybe say no, that will be more honor. Some people trying to help her, even people from outside her family, they have a lot of resources. But it says that when they're a victim does not seek help or not, nobody can help the victim.
Yes,
You
that
think?
was where I was trying to drive at yesterday.
Mhm. Yeah,
Say, nipa ne ma wo kwan a, you can't.
yeah.
What I say? Share in adofo and a sister you ho ahia.
Mm-hmm.
Would they mean taking it from on one twin
Yeah.
sister no
Mm-hmm.
or try say obey bibi because a through the twin sister and a bear man a bow bana brabo. And it was really hard for the man to woo her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sister na ne pushy ya. And then the sister now regretted to the extent say, or no mum and wakuni no.
You see, you.
But Bema ni bear movie no. Then he blocked all these people,
Of course.
including the twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because on him say that is one mechanism obetumi use.
Yep.
Right here say. Nti otumi break it we mu nyina free ne ho. As abedu fellow musicians, oh no omo ye adwuma and no omo call programs.
Mm-hmm.
One of the programs omo hosted recently, she was supposed to be there. It's not at the hospital.
I mean,
Not the hospital.
it's
And
so
people said
important.
people were trying to advocate for her. But onu ankasa no amma ho kwan.
Yeah,
And who knows what?
the
Who knows
reason
why?
behind it. Yeah,
Exactly. It's from where you started from, say um
esteem.
self-esteem was just like dead.
Hmm. It's not
Right.
there because
It
he has
wasn't there.
broken her. Yeah,
It
he has
wasn't there.
broken her.
So and you used a good scenario. Say, okay, cultural. So you look this, you look that, you look this, you look that. It sinks into your brain.
Oh, it
And
becomes part of your thinking. It
exactly. By
becomes
the
part
time
of
you
you.
know it, no,
It's
that
too
is what
late.
you live with.
Yeah, of
It starts gradually, but before
course.
you know it, you are injected with it. Not a part and parcel of you.
Of
Then you
course.
tell yourself, say, you can't do anything, you are useless, you are that. That is what your brain produces.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about words are powerful. Words can make you and
Exactly.
break you. So abuse doesn't start straight from your the abuser beating you senselessly.
No,
It
no.
starts with wording, and then it goes into the two most dangerous: emotional abuse, psychological abuse. Those two are are invincible. So people don't see the pain you going through, the
Yes.
despair, everything that is happening on a daily basis. And trust me, if someone keep telling you you ugly within a year, by the end of the
Don't,
year
don't,
you're
don't,
going to
don't
see
don't
yourself.
say a year.
Oh,
Just
well, I'm
use
trying to extend it.
use a day. Let the person start from the morning and keep reminding you how
24
ugly you
hours,
look.
right?
How ugly you look consistently. By the time the clock comes back to where it started from, you are feeding up here with
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, because obana ni ye boano no. I may can tree mu because one several for no can bi wo ha na uko work bi abetena so.
Messia is also
Asɛm
switching to say,
aha,
Miss Switches.
asɛm bi a wɔkae a is stuck in my mind no. Ɔse sɛ bi wɔ hɔnom a ɔte hɔnom a na sɛ hɔnom ayɛ din a ɔnsɛ clock, grandfather clock no, sɛ rotate a wote kɛ Ke was it say a drew saa time na nsɛm a bɛrima na ka kyerɛ no no ɛne nneɛma a wayɛ no no
Start to
nyinaa no
play.
she keeps revisiting.
Mhm.
Enti no wobɛhu he was hearing her you know what bɛrima no ɛne ɛwɔ ne tiri mu. Enti ebi wɔ hɔnom a etimi repeat o so ebi wɔ hɔnom a asɛm baako no etimi repeat ɛbɔ so mpere mmienu mmiɛnsa. Enti ayɛ a na wasɔ ne tiri mu kura mpo so ɔpɛ sɛ
Ajua, me try no.
Mhm.
But unim my story,
Mhm.
how I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up with an abusive father.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
They are okay, no correct, and I just want to use myself.
Mhm.
Na obi a otie nti ase sɛ ɛyɛ nokorɛ.
No correct.
Sɛ yɛde ano si wo so, ne yɛka nsɛm kyerɛ wo ɛto wo ho da biara,
Mhm.
ɛka kyerɛ wo sɛ wode ade papa bi amfiri wo mu ma,
Right.
wobɛbrɛ wɔ asase yi so,
Mm.
wohu wo ho ano.
Mm.
Ɛbɛduu baabi na ayɛ sɛ yɛbɔ tape recorder. Deɛ woka no na mede bi ɛto ho na adɔfoɔ
Repetition.
atumi arelate with.
Mhm.
Ayɛ sɛ yɛbɔ tape recorder ɛwɔ wo tim. Adwoa,
Mm.
those times na meto nnwom. Mekɔgyina
Yeah. You.
sɛ meto nnwom a sɛ yɛka sɛ sister yi to nnwom a sɛ sei na wafiri mu no ɛna yɛrelate.
Mhm.
Wohu pain wɔ ne voice mu anaa wote
Yeah.
pain wɔ ne
That is
voice mu.
fair. Mhm.
Me mounte platform na meto nnwom a na metaa su nti na nkurɔfoɔ bisa sɛ dɛn paa na meto nnwom ma me su saa.
Mhm. Omunim dia wo go through.
Ebi wɔ hɔnom a mafo platform na ebia na me papa nso wɔ program n'ase o.
Mhm.
Woto nnwom na ebia woyɛ wo skirmish stɛn ne wo ho kɔba na w'ani akɔ akɔtɔ nipa yi anim a
Ah,
it comes like in a flash.
of course. And you see Sister Osinachi when she sings now they will put the husband's face in there and she's staring right at her this monstrous, you know, and
And deɛ ɔbɛsɔre agyina hɔ koraa a ɔbɛyɛ no ɛwɔ nipa anim asɛ ɔno nso wɔhyepe bi.
no crans no nim deɛ wɔdwen wɔ ne tirim.
Ɔdwen adwoa nokorɛ ɛna woka no edu baabi na efie a me team metumi aka kyerɛ sɛ almost every corner na mewɔ object bi a ɛyɛ sharp ɛhyɛ hɔ.
Oh my gosh, like
Because now I was looking out for a free time, the me alone time, just to do something to myself.
yeah, I mean suicide some most victims they become suicidal. You know, some some of them they will verbalize it, others they will not verbalize it, they will
Exactly.
attempt it, you know.
And yeka unsandra na yeka sano mi yusu word bi a na ede misunderstanding kakra ya aba.
Mhm.
Se unko mu a unte ase.
Mhm.
Na adwo efie a meti mi nyini wom. Minim se me papa. Meaning the second child of 4 siblings.
A protector, someone who's supposed to be a protector.
Exactly. No mama turning against me. Bibia ko boni wo fie honom na me papa frɛ me a na me yema hye me. Because me free baby a me wo abɛn me papa no. The next thing e be land e asumbo.
And also, ebi mu asumbo nso etimi mani pa so si o.
Adwo me ne wo ka sei. Ahomachi a they say me 19 to me nda very well during the night. Tell me niema online rather. Pillow me dey to couch mu ana me da so. Me da ho na me tisa se bibia drop here fi me left here mu. And I was like, I've had this experience before.
Oh wow.
Me sorry na a blood clot.
What?
Me sorry na a blood clot.
That's damn.
She me free me papa ho when I turned like 18 years. I mean who said niam emwa me no. Me stepmother ne me kasa ya se nkrofo beka se o ono no waye ne yapamo me ne fine kusi hin.
And so it's not her fault.
Exactly. So I came back home, but maybe I am very rebellious.
Of course.
And that was when I told my dad, say, or pound tribe, you may bune kuno.
See, upon Chenny, no unsia or ya war. Brother,
Because I don't know my yam who you are my baby.
Brother Brian, hold it, because minim say baby you can pick it up from there. We'll back into the my main catching up with the comment. Brother Anka Kwesi says sometimes I put most of the blames to the pastors because most of the victims goes to them for counseling, and instead of them advising them to quit the relationship, they rather advise them to exercise patience, and this is some of the outcome. Most definitely, I mean, to say I truly feel, instead of, if you are Christian now, when you're going through abusive relationship, you shouldn't see your pastor, because your pastor does not have the experience to counsel you. You need to see a professional counselor, like a psychologist, right? And a professional, someone who does that. Don't go to your pastor, because their job, some of them have the spirit of teaching, the spirit of doing other stuff,
And
but
some of them have nothing.
some of them have nothing. They have a yeko sandalia is yeko sandalia to say, or the what event of right. With them, I mean, continue with the comments. Sister Ishankra said, pastors are not marriage counselors, so but that's right. And then Sister said, probably her prayer focus was for God to
Just to
change her
change the
husband instead
husband.
of listening to her inner being for escape routes.
Wow.
That is like so deep. Sister Nana Branyankupon Oh, Shirao, my goodness, that is so deep. You definitely right. Don't pray for somebody to change for you. Pray for you having the strength to remove yourself from situation that is unpleasant. Because hey, for me, I pray for my husband when he loves me. I pray for my husband when he pampers me. I pray for my husband when he makes me.
Hey, I believe you are listening.
Oh, he is listening.
He will pray for you when you are breaking your heart.
When he's breaking my heart, that prayers will not come for him. It's Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire. What do you know? And no, this is like what me. Why should I pray for? When you do me wrong, if you don't push me, I don't push back. So Ken knows me, so he doesn't get to my bad side. Sister Yafo sadly, we have become so sanctimonious and self-righteous, quoting big scriptures instead of applying the wisdom which God has given us to. For sure, it's not about like the big scriptures that they quote. They only quote the part that benefits them. They don't read the whole scripture. That is like something that baffles me. Kwame Bedu said, yes, so will send you the invite.
Is that Brother Obi?
Yes, I will see that. I will definitely join. Brother Ankakwe said, but this is what our society have grown to believe in, sis. I know, but like, I'm just sorry. Like, I'm my own miracle, okay? And I have the power to do anything in this world if I choose to do so. I have a choice. So I don't depend on people, because humanity will disappoint you at the time of need. Minya accident, Brother Brian, like what I went through, me who say, nipa dasani mu say, you going through a lot. You need financial support. You need it. Me no say me for the past 2 years, since COVID, my tithe and my offering has been put in an investment for my retirement. The reason being, I need to be able, I am the first priority. I need to be able, I don't want to grow old and have to depend on my children, for my children to take care of me. What did I do? What was my purpose? Right? My parents, they build their life. They take care of themselves. I don't need to take care of my parents. Right? My focus is on me, my husband, my children, and my future. So it's like, if you have pastors saying, offering and tithe is not for the church members now, fine. As a church member, I know how I can invest my money. You see, because my parents did not raise a stupid woman. They raised a very intelligent woman, pa. What? Sister Nana with her situation, it was the fear of what the
Oh,
church would
church
do.
coaching.
I mean, and you see, oh, it's really bad because a Christopher, yes, unyami sumumponi, na ba for a Christopher bonia omudi will be asino. A sin will be cross on your Christoni. Hey, Christo son for church goers for. Omo kwa church ekwedi o masofo. Omo kwa church kwedi obi kun. Omo kwa church kwedi obi yirenom. Che say it's too much. Enti nyanyame say when the judgment day comes, now brother Brian, he no see obesha ase free.
Sorry, fear.
No correct because onim trodo
Say
say
a honum na
e
wasiesi.
wanna bonne
Say a
no
honum na wasanka.
that's right.
Bibia and the papamuno. They also shas yefri.
Me na me catch it. And this is another say until we come to the realization that church has nothing to do with the marriage, this will just be many tips of the iceberg. Say
Ajua, before you continue,
what
let me say this.
I was seeing gume.
Before you continue, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Nyame amayen adwinyansa ne nimdeɛ sɛ ebetumi awɔke to our own benefit.
Yeah.
Ti dia mepɛ sɛ me use this medium ɛde ka ne sɛ wokɔ asɔre,
Mm-hmm.
wonkɔ asɔre,
Mm-hmm.
wogye nyame di, wongye nyame di.
Mm-hmm.
Nyame akyɛ w'adwen.
No correct.
Nyansa ne nimdeɛ.
What dear?
Allow yourself to have it work for you. Don't block it.
Activate it.
Activate it, not when necessary, but
All
always.
the
Always.
all
The
the time.
make us ask him when say Ajwa. Yeah, they are sorry, achichere ye homa and nipa ewu.
Kobe Bini.
Nipa ewu, but yenti ase. Recently, na me besua ade bi. Na me ready about church and how things can be done in a church setting.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this it's not an app, but I say almost show inspirational stuff about church. It popped up on my Facebook and me read it. Only say bro sorry. So phone to me, you know, when him and show say tight, say, and show directly where you have to put it.
No correct.
But be before sorry, yama ye ho kwan, ma aye structural teaching. Aye de my I was say utia tight, say, we say, na adwa wan ye adwuma nso e.
Oh, now man come my experience and say a time I mean accident and I wasn't working. Me kwa sorry so na asha no de me tight book abrem na me see oh.
So no dey onim say who ye adwuma na wo ye adwuma.
Oh, na say me accident and I came and talk about it. And
Wow.
say right now I'm still in recovery because sisi ye jamedi e me hu ye e block ye accident no you fucking well oloki sisi and oloki me kwato de baako and oloki me kon
Wa lock sa niam we nyina ga sem bia woni ha.
Oh, me say
When you accident na still be so san be we dan be shi there.
When I was in pain
asema me ke be da ko istias ya dan be shi.
Even when I was in pain, some of my crying was not the pain I was feeling. Some of my crying was me not being able to like use my waist for what I want to use it for. We will come back to when you became rebellious. Brother Emmanuel G. Yamuakwaba. Brother Emmanuel G said, is marriage in heaven? No, sir. There's no marriage is not in heaven. And only acquire individually.
Say o pese wo de wa ware call heaven na what CC na na kama. Eduru an udu gate wa na wa bisa say angel me na me yire na metumi ne na ewura mu ana. Tiatia. Ya me kire o de aye.
That's right. So, brother Emmanuel G asked, I say, why don't you leave the marriage and stop saying I am staying because of the children? And that's the worst thing you can do because in Kolano, you are exposing them to an unhealthy, toxic environment, which can groom them to become an abuser themselves or a victim.
Also, Ajwa, the Emma and Crofo use Mofrano as an excuse no. Because one, ukita mofra and a be a back on any mean to say be a midi 4. My boy bay trailer. Na na sorry da kromiti bo ma me se wo ne wo ma monko anase me mata me bag ne meja wo ho.
Mm-hmm.
Eno nko abetumi aha no aku no because one ehim fra no dem bofra ne call. Where is the help support
Mm.
for her to raise the kids?
Yeah.
Eno na man for ebre no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, inti mimi hu se utumi save towards such hard times emra no why you strong dada.
Mm-hmm.
But there only be na onsan ye adwuma. Oba folding the arms no what na ho. Ne
Mm-hmm.
yede ni pu tiu ta sa no si ho. But ni nyina no eye ye mu binom ne ye masa ne o ma ne koso.
Oh, I mean, to say, Brother Brian, I always say this, and sometimes when I'm talking to my family, I almost say, oh, are we going to go into psychology? I'll be like, oh my gosh, can you guys let me be in every situation, being an abuse victim or whatsoever, you play part in it based on your actions that you take or you do not take.
Mhm.
And the blame cannot be put on just one person, right? Because you hear so many stories, and most abusers, they refuse anybody's support because they say they have been mentally and psychologically affected. And when one is mentally and psychologically broken, you will have a really if you do not have a professional counselor to help you build yourself back up, you will make decisions now that will never make you a whole again. Brother Kwame Bedu said, once the victims do not see it as a problem, it will be hard for them to find solution. Even if outsiders seems to have a solution, they are helpless. Sister Yadabia can being in a hopelessness or a helplessness situation, which is so true. And Sister Nanabra, story of my life, because Sister Nanabra has shared her her story, where she went through an abusive marriage, and she walked, she left, and she's alive, sharing her story here and there. And it is so sad, what some people, they think, say we can never change our partners, we can never change people. You can positively influence someone, but if that person do not say to themselves, I'm going to change who I am now, it don't matter how much love you have for the person.
No,
And
no.
sometimes you may love someone so much, the best possible thing that you can do to save yourself and that person is to divorce the person and let the person go, or you leave the person. That's how much, love you sacrifice for other people, but you don't sacrifice your happiness. Oba sister Asosika Yamawakwaba, or see, good day everybody, good day to
Everyone.
you as well. Sister Nanabra said that was me and my mother. It is crazy. And then Brad Kwame said it is like an avid, constantly
Constantly remind
remind
you
you. It's crazy. Brother Ankra says pastors are spiritual
spiritual
fathers.
fathers.
Oh, Sister Aisha Ankra, Brother Ankra, don't
Well,
Papa
well,
we Miami there.
well, Sister Aisha and a quiz almost fancy. So
And
me na yakra. So to the anchor, the
Aisha
anchor square.
Obaba, Facha me with the ex factor sister. Associate Obaba sister Associate said, well, after what I heard from her mom, she is to be blamed. I mean, like the blame goes in everywhere. The victim, because when a victim is so broken and she does not have the capacity to make really important decisions, to know, say, they are in danger. And because when you are broken emotionally and psychologically, your antenna for danger does not come up, because you feel like you have taken so much, it cannot get worse than it has been, right? So no victims think of they're going to die, and no abuser think of one day I will not no longer be able to beat her again, because they don't know the damage, the they putting on their victims and stuff like that. And then you also have family. I mean, when it comes to Africans, some of us are pathological liars. Some of us, we can tell a story. Part of it may be true, others may be, made up just to make your story be more feasible. So it's like, she's dead. As to whether or not she's to blame or whoever is to blame, at the end of the day, she's the one who is going to be buried on safe ground under. The perpetrator is still breathing. People that loves her, they're going to go through the pain forever because they can never have her back. So like, some of the steps she didn't take, uh put her in the position that she is at. And the husband, like, the things that I've been hearing is just too much. I mean, how can you treat your
As
partner
your
in
message be about the past, say we pray to change ourselves. We don't pray to change someone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Let me catch up. Bra Kwame said we pray to change ourselves. Oh, okay. We don't pray to change someone. Most definitely, very powerful. Sister Nanabra said there is a Christian movie called The War Room. Oh yes, I seen
Oh,
it. I was like,
this is where I got
never
my
watched
strength from.
something so silly. You're right. When I was
This is
watching,
where
I
I
was
got
like,
my strength from.
that's true. Evangelist George said sometimes the fall comes from because when they are
From us.
studying themselves, they don't take subness. So let's be a sober.
So soberness.
Uh, no, it's sober, right? Because I
Yeah.
mean, oh,
Yeah. Then the next didn't come right.
1 Peter, First Peter 5:8. Nsem bebree. Let's see. Uh, but evangelist First Peter 5:8, put the words in there because I'm finding myself lazy to go seek it out. Sister Aisha Ankra said we can begin to support and empower women to make the best decision for them while holding abusers solely accountable for their behavior. Most definitely, because a lot of abusers. Have you ever seen an abuser condemning another abuser? That will never happen because they know, say, if they do that now, they're also going to be held accountable. So why support that? Sister Nanabra said, I was the praise and worship leader for over 10 years. They stripped
Shoot me
me
off
off that
that
position
position.
because I divorced. Uh,
Ajua, Ajua,
but you
before
know
you
what?
move on,
You know,
before you
God is good because
all the
now you
time,
are alive.
all the time.
God will
Only
punish them.
I'm sorry now you're woman no.
Brother
It's
Brian, hold on. Let me hold on to your thought. I want to catch up because I don't want to be chasing the comments. Sister Ayafoda to said, look, I am a person of faith. I love the word of God, but by going meetings, some of our people need to be deprogrammed from the impractical nyamisam with its rigid rules and hypocrisy. Yeah, some more. Sister Sage Williams near Yamakwaba was greeting Sister Adra Odo and the beautiful people aboard. Greetings to you as well.
Greetings.
Aha, and Makachi up. Now, Brother Brian, what's it? And sorry for Nibino.
And sorry now you're woman no. Me say yeah, cause nipa bebre e blame me sorry I call and what the church will do. Ajua, me no cry. And sorry na mwaye.
No correct.
Me call Church of Pentecost. But like a do baby as say no my say sorry no me gina bonten. And I'm a kugu sorry then.
Oh shit.
Sana akoye. Because me who say like I say no crepa di and ya sorry na say.
And I want to.
Me remember na make asem we to be or could be will attest to it. Ma wasem mmra
Ebe some to send you, you know.
asofo mpanimfo no
And a
ene
big
be pesaw
Jim.
na dia oye odi bone no ene nam ho.
Oh yeah, na say you see ebi mu boy ebi mu sen kra.
Oh ajwa Me free Ghana bedu kurom ha na me wo Toronto. The nam so me free Toronto na me. Me papa we di mania ma me di enyini. Me bedu kurom ha no ma se bia yon na ade me bae. En mo wonsa so ba bia e na me bae.
Sister,
Me
sister
bedu
can
ya.
be. But I never some no one can know. But
Oh,
I
sister,
never some
sister
no.
Sika. Oh dear. Nyame Adama will get in touch. You understand me. Me bedu ye. Me bae no. 3 weeks, I'm say 2 weeks, and you told me about hiding. And it was a big program.
Wait. Hey,
I do am a package for Ghana. 2 weeks ago, you see the
Akwa, we a guy.
me ya wedding wa Ghana. Me tin tiny na me ye adwuma. So okay.
Hey,
Tin tiny na okay say me.
and you bedru ye 2 weeks pen and I come
Oh,
back.
yeah, 4 months na be bedru. And
Wow.
it baffled everybody, even right from Ghana. Nobody else say, how come you got your papers within 4 months? And I'm saying,
Akwa, it is a what to pamu ye, you crazy.
sister, na gyina be match. We dey friend no to no be ya na ya say
What's
show
the
no.
last thing you know?
O be na say ya say show no. Yeah, I tell for mamu fi
Okay,
sister
dear,
one.
for more
Yeah,
fun,
mamu
we
ntie no.
going back.
Na me be do ye 2 weeks yeah to me badin. I did within the 2 weeks I did everything possible to get along with my dad.
Wow.
One man ho kwan. Day na year to din no, asori dem ho and I had this adwin say, time I made that no. Me because I made me papa say I said that pen na me dem no. Upon the other me afọ mu nyina.
Oh my gosh.
Me poison me ho twice e wo Ghana.
Hey, and I went not just a yummy,
That's it.
yummy
After
dog.
operation in the bear me did 6 months with the, in between home and Kolebu. 6 months. They do baby say me sua nante. Because na ma dafa akwache. Me sorry say me si fema na moja e pram me. E do baby no e be ye nsuo, nsuo sone me ase dia mejon so. Because of dia me de ye me ho. E free we nyina mu afi. Na
Thank
nyame
you.
adom me ko manimu a.
But
Me
we
bedu
thank
krom
God.
ha me ne me yere ene mase ene ye wo fie. Me ba me nye adwuma. Makwa akọpẹ baabi a me a metumi tua rent. O si chinchi na mintu mfiri hɔ na me ne wo metena. Na me se ebo o te ne mpani nsɛm wɔ. Ɛna me yere so ɛna mba krom ha. Me bedu ye me nhwɛ n'anim endi bosome se tu firi hɔ ne gya ne hɔ betena me nkyɛn na me se mintumi nyɛ. Papa engunu a neti kokum ɛne Toronto abɔnten so baabi a bɛfɛ bia ne yidi matem.
And as sister Yebusan, why do we inflict such pain? It's crazy.
Nti edu baabi na I asked myself say Toronto metena hɔ na meje. Deɛ na meyɛ. And this is one step I took aboa me and then my year very well, like my sanity is intact.
Peace of mind.
Ajua, edu baby na me ko hu doctor every week. First na every other week. Ebe every week. Me ko be na doctor increasing the medication. Because
Aye.
migraine na minya no. Na ano odin.
Wow.
Na ano odin. Edu baby won say me ni obi nnam a. Na me bisa me wo say nipa ya me ni nnam obi twa nani na mewu da ho ade na obeye.
Wow.
That was the thought and amiwo. Because now at any given instant, no na mpese me ye me ho bibi.
Hey.
I say, but nyame ncha de e bedu baabi na afede metumi stand up no. Na afede aye asori mpanimfo. Udu asori, odo to ka akonwa.
Yeah, boy, kutia.
Yeah, boy kutia, ya be frost ye no wo meeting.
Ah.
Ajwa, me bae Toronto abonti so amane me hu na meka. Bia the only time I menya me tie didi mu asori ni say bia me wura asori dem mu praises cause of me to onwum nti me nkotena ase na makọ tena baby agentfo ne ten because I really want to serve my Lord. And na me tie e back in microphone so when they sing solos ni ade.
No crap.
Nti me wie no na me sorry free ho no ma na me ba no so o start say on 19 no no to me praise me e ba anim ho.
No crap.
Tina waba na oni me free like wabe so me say ye call walking around ye free ho. Me nya twe me ho a na ya be free me ye ko meeting. Ti da ko na bisa say na papa na mo ne ye meeting no wen. Or say oh my, and I'm saying I mean some friend me.
Of course, because
So
you can resolve a problem with just one-sided aid.
exactly. So I came out and I told them say, "Oh, frame me be my the befi menu ma baby ah."
They will not
They
like.
called for it
Mm-hmm.
because I do me be yes so rude.
Of course, because why are
To
fed up
my call,
with the nonsense?
first, and I make us my sister, my sister, me hard dream because me, dear, me, nyama be brave, say, nyama be brave, say, me respect, ye the diagro born a boss, said, yeah,
Yeah, some more. No.
nti me soon be do baby, no, and no, no, can say, still a bit far funny, a friend, now. And then mammy back with it, me the Jan with Toronto, or starting and smile in patch, and a pale bar, so which was say.
Yo!
The next thing I mean, who say my many say, I conye sin in chain, and conye say, na Easter convention say I upon one show no then no buy. The next thing is a means of all shark on your attendance, and I'm say yes, maybe I will fuck up.
Sister, also, or you're funny, no, in some on ma, then nibri some pan or but the way he will put it, you think that,
And I mean, my me ya to Brady Asher Hono. That's what exactly they told me. Say,
yeah,
I mean, I'm a yabofra.
akwala why?
So I had to
And
go
Penny
down.
is always right. In some,
Yes, I had to go down. And I thank the national head at the time, may God keep his soul. Papa New.
oh wow.
Or friend me on the office.
Mm-hmm.
On the make us say, someone kind of say, Brian, me tie nsem koso.
Mm-hmm.
Na me way two side. And the man did something. Or friend me papa, and then make us say, or we no friend me, and then make us say, or we no catch me say, when we say me matured.
That's him, papa.
Let's say me papa. And to the person who ye ni, say me man and walk on. And I'm saying you should go ahead. Or friend me, and of friend me papa together. No ma me di kind call office ho. And or pay baby ma me tena yam papa ba oh me. And I'm papa by. Tim papa by no oh me wo wura bi wo ha me pese o chia no. Nti na papa for say your phone so. Ti oye no se kwadwo bra. And me pie fi papa ni I say back room.
And buy.
And the papa who me na order ne ho. Ti asema papa ni kan ni say ti me papa na o elder. Elder Frimpong. Who pie free them ha. Me make sure say you be too asan.
No, correct. That is
Me papa ba back better na ase.
wow.
Ajwa. Nkoma ye di nyina. Me papa de nenam baby. No kako. And joye ye nyina so oye na bi so de be
Fully.
Oye de so de be gu maware.
Wow.
Me be fi Ghana. Ada me nya me visa. My wife friend me, so I don't know a ticket. It me di 2 weeks per Ghana. Not exactly 2 weeks. And I'm bedu krumha. Me bedu ye me frel me master catches me friend na me kan chen say nyame adom me ba. Na enkoye so obi hu ase me nenam krumha. Timitie master na me tu sa na mo. Or friend me yira akoda na sen. Atemdidi o de koma me yire. Nti me yire friend me no say kwadwo say enya wo na me hu say oye different ah.
Ahomaso Pro Max. Shit. Excuse my
friend. That's what my wife told me. And I'm catching some me say me no share me.
Oh my gosh, that is awful.
Knocking po na me wo Ghana. Me auntie ni kunu. Me di si wo mo so omo no mo ndi anim. Enkoye knocking. And no mo so kope mo asem kofa papa ya wa chekere no asa boy. Edi wo mechi. Se wo mo tumi pass ne bai. Enimguase odi kogu mi ofie honom.
Hey, now when say they like the now bro sama na said no.
Ajua nti no afi de obetima se.
Enti abuse no enya partner na your family member.
Exactly. And then it could family be your brother or sister.
Another a church member.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
It comes in so many forms. It me no and then woman say no my me ho she me ho. Oh ben me oh ben me build yourself up. Let me build myself up.
No, brother Brian, like the first time I will frame me, now you were able to open up to me because it's I don't know ke kwa adwuma enti no wo frame me no to say, and the way you started it, may recognize it, say you have been mature because to say answer na wo be shasi open up no say wo hear me program not to say and semi be our mechanism ni ade no like you find yourself, it's like I'm talking about you,
Mhm,
right? And
mhm.
then gradually I guess you trusted me enough, or and open up. And the one thing, like when Kay came, I was sitting there. Uh, we were still on the phone talking. We stayed on the phone for almost three
I
hours.
remember.
I
I
was
remember.
like, "What the hell?"
I remember
And
that
then
day. That day, I had a kitchen order, and I went for groceries. I was wearing earpiece, walked all the way down to the grocery store, came back with a taxi, and we were still on the phone.
most definitely, when Kay came, I said, "Oh, Kay is home. So let's talk later." And the thing you say is, "No, no, 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 no. We can talk. Let me say hello to him." Everything. You say hello to him, and so, and that didn't stop you from holding things in, because that day, and I think say you have made it a decision to let out, to vent.
And
You
that
know.
was the very first and ever time I was coming out with it.
Mm,
That
mm,
made the shame me more check.
what the wow.
And on your medium,
Hmm.
and I'm starting to say me share, and through you, Ajwa, do you know how many people have come in contact with me just to
Mm.
talk with me? And
Wow.
all bisa inti okay bibi was sister Ajwa or program so,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
did that happen to you? And I was like, yes,
Wow.
it happened to me. And even Obia menene said, yeah, me no omo kasana me tu omo for me catch omo said there's one thing you can do for yourself.
Mm,
Build yourself up. No matter what you have, no matter what your grounds.
mm-hmm.
Because I used to be very, very, very quiet. Right.
And send your sister Sika Kan,
Yes,
would the same show more? You're not hurting nobody by yourself.
exactly. And a do baby no, let me slow say, me stand up for my own self. Oh, me be that person na me who say fe me to me asesa ne man. E
Mm-hmm.
medjuma me ba Canada medjuma me nyaye me wo first edjuma with benefit. Ye yi me di aha me
Yeah.
because e do baby na me your friend me say, "Oh, I'll do it. Shift be be friend be na meje." Nti me afa ye do ye me di na me say, "Okay, e be ye my bre me to me ye bi." And I advised one girl. She passed out in my unit. Or yeah, 12 hours
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for 2 weeks with 1 day off.
Hmm.
12 hours shift. The last day no buy no on na master zombie na ni say na tie. And I'm
No,
say me and I'm say excuse you.
you have
Am
to
I going
take
to
care of
work with you?
yourself.
Me and I'm say am I going to work with you? Or say yeah, and I'm say you know what? I would rather suggest you go home and go rest. I can work the unit by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Inti me no go so yakasa na your senior yet main fan main say your supervisor. Bye. Or buy and say, what was I saying? And I'm saying, yes, this is what I was saying. I'm kind. I said, do you know that can be used against you? And I'm saying, in
In
what
what
way?
way? Because he's not going to help you from their best ability, because they are drained out.
You can't
They're
even
not doing
hold
self
eyes
care.
open.
Yeah.
And all the Bible said, nipa when you say nine years old,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know, uncle,
Yeah.
uncle. Into me, yeah, my girl, no, I find the bag say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
just to the exit, me take tap. Let me dim me feel say, patience, nibi.
Ati
The
ati.
guy, yeah, girl, no, na atiashi, no tishin so. The way your tishin, yen, one tian, she saw
Ooh,
the netiko
please.
nebepo, or the side say, na she ho,
Oh, God damn it.
and
Can't deal with
table,
that.
dining table edge. I'm not then call.
Oh,
I had to call EMS by almost fan and then call.
ooh.
Upon investigation, I'm a catcher almost say she's worked 12 hours in a 12 hours, 2 weeks in a row with 1 day off. No. May you Juma nama.
do you do that? Like,
Me ye juma nama. Ajwa. I did say me ye 2 weeks, 12 hours. Me cry de minya about 2 or 3 off days in there.
oh Jesus.
Ebedu baby no. Na obia na ma start ejuma no for. Until obia timenka. Oh, there was this guy. Tia mami nickname Gentle Giant.
Yeah.
There's this guy. Oh, he's so nice, so down to earth. Ude hu nana ne kasa asa abofra. It's no obia person ne me ye ejuma. Ti edu baby ne ye frame me na me ntumi ntiko. Me pese me establish myself somewhere. Ajwa. Last 12 hours now me here me do me entry door ano na me pen na me tune na me family joining me.
Oh
Me
no, that's what Toronto.
Toronto. Me
Wow.
do me door ano dia me to me here and say key no me dey share door ni key eyinim.
You couldn't and one.
Me turn here na me be a door na me slamming onto the floor.
Oh my.
Me nine egu abonti na me ti wa dan
Oh my
pass
gosh.
out. My pass it out. Me opposite neighbor, any the next neighbor no say almost feel say na mabo.
Oh my goodness gracious God.
Me told her no more na about 8:30, 8:45 there PM. Many thing na ya how much 5.
Holy cow.
And I me to me abandon myself up. Sorry, yeah, find me backpack to me dorm. Ira then and the first place I'm call a shower mo.
Nyame
Ti ewianim masori afidi akomo deme. Me re fi kura se mitumi ye aduane. Ti me kwa kope bibi ato. And my neighbor epuli up or car park on say, can I ask you something? Do you drink? And I'm saying no. I say, so what happened to you?
Oh my God.
Me say me be man work. I said, I'm saying I don't know what happened, but you could have done something. That's what I said. I said you could have done something. Call EMS. Let them take care of me.
Holy cow.
Adjoana meaning say me with diabetes.
Oh my gosh. You know you could have died, right?
Because like I hate that point. And my breath to the extent said mean to me like I couldn't raise a finger.
Self-care is very important. Exactly. Take vacation, take a day or two off 1 week. We shouldn't be taking vacation to Ghana alone. Because Ghana was spending unnecessary money. And we see a four baby one at us ube feed you. Call me say me next plan since I have to bra me ba brother Brian. Munina me ba me seek him out. Me be back Canada.
And your sister Brana, me the other
landing. And no ma Germany, brother Ankra, Munina la.
That's it.
Me bad there, me penny some meat pan. Some meat pan would the dada, me no brother Brian, so just answer Muno. Because sometimes me damn the suda why are you tormenting me like that?
Hey Brian, we have more, we have more.
Yeah. Oh, brother Ankra. Sorry, my man son in row. Brother Ankra is joining us. Oh no, brother Ankra, let me send it to you now.
Life itself, no, it is you who have to make it yourself. Nobody.
That's right.
Will make it for you.
Oh yes.
Nobody. And all the experiences I may share, I have a whole lot to share. But the truth is,
brother Brian, sorry, dear. One day at a time, because you can't see a canning but the reason, brother Ankra send Abrabo WhatsApp. Brother Brian Wokasano, a lot of support was coming to you, nominee.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
But Sister Sika, hey Charlie, me feel say like you and I, we may have the same close to similar attitude. I so agree with you concerning tithing and offering. I started doing the same 2 years ago. Hey, pandemic
COVID may be a money.
Because in here who's a woe,
we're your friend of COVID motivation.
I know, right? And then she said, oh, and OMG. Oh my God. What
What a
change.
change.
And I'm telling you,
Because I mean here, alone, I am business,
I
right?
say, me future retirement in Charlie. Me who say me who chere me no answer me kwaba besia me pa na me twia me pa me ntwia me free wiase a omo betua ke ne nkwala no di aka no nti say 100,000 na ma gi 5,000 so no ma nya 95,000 me kura say me timi di half ansa no mawu some papa. Alright, but Ankra, ya mu akwaba.
Me chachi obia. Hey bro.
Hey Joseph. How are you?
And then baby, I'm a quarter. I must have that hobby. Charlie, hey, I have my 2 young brothers here.
What was my ginger brother Ankara about life?
Wow, many of you are lie. Now, I'll bet you credit now.
When you lie, yeah, we are like, look at me. Then I'm my ginger brother Ankara about.
Yo, yeah, the Bema, yeah, the credit, the Bema, why? I think that, yeah, you know, I am motivated, brother Ankara. Now, I First Peter 5:8, you know, Evangelist George says, sober and be vigilant because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour. You know, sometimes I know someone, yeah, kita iPhone, no churo bibi ana Siri, the some word, you know. Ube send baby na yeah, yinti say bi a wo send bibi na say it change the word na. During the life, you know, we clicking on reply, no, I clicking on the comment, and no be my choice to edit. Word it here, obi a waba so for no be edit, you know, the right word, you know, by yeah, what's that and we will see. But once the program is done now, we'll edit, you know, will be effect. And you know, I know sometimes I want to kick Siri's butt.
Omi the animal catcher series says silly men frail.
And we're saying, you know, to say sister, I can't say a DNT we inflict such pain on our own kind. This is a and as sister Sika say, oh boy, you have been through a lot. Use it to empower and help others.
Exactly what I'm doing, says. God bless you.
Doing it. And sister, yeah, took for that to brass a Ghana for an insult without knowing the whole story. Why? And not like if you
remember the Amede Dickness is true. Grocery shop, mechanics and the
Mate. On says I mean and some maybe one ye chromophobia. I am in fan question say when you deal a Jimmy straight up. Yeah, some be on more because will be on my Jimmy and on the edge, and yes, when you answer. I said being bullied in church, yep. And no, some sister, here's Adwa, he is the Akra. Why? Opinion is always right. Sans some hooning and some phone and man to be and some time now who they won't being so quiet and tyrant is not good at all. No crass and pan I won't come. Sister Sika, your father is a bully. And 100
and he is up until today. He haven't changed.
Wow. Sister, yeah, for that to say unforgiveness with the title. And to send someone absolutely nothing.
I'm so pro max.
Sister, Nana Abna. I tell you, Sister Nana Brown, when Mrs. Apenny so the Abna, you know, to send me both, Mrs. Apenny, like Sister Sika said, your father sees something in you he never had, and only as some no, jealousy, enviousness, no, and only had or 10. They are like creepy crawlers, and no, they are no crass and pass. Sister, yeah, for that to say, oh yes, my hobby goes through same with older brother. Distance in I brought you here syndrome after decades in what bondage be that? I know you're crazy. What am I benting? Someone. One thing I love about my parents, and they say, they never use that on us. Me, mama, and papa. They have to work so hard to bring all 4 of us here. Me taku mentua dama me de me si nyame ahira me frɛ you me papers me drew airport sing me san gu me green card so no Mr. Brother, I adofo any jam kwa me sign me dina na me drew last name no anko so only initial no ne buy. Some kra me trouble bibia and you all say Ghana for your my din the ordinary beto no aha matre Emilia Adwaba everything came through. Me do last name. I have to initial the last name because there was no space to finish writing my name. Mama, you didn't think.
And then you be also wabba. You two, you have come.
I know, right? And sister, I responded to sister, ni kunu ni no yeno, and this I say in some keke.
In system, adwatri na ya mama nka. In system.
In oh, my penny ye, Miss.
I am there.
Oh, no. Media, oh. Missy, my share in
Abrabo ni mama nka na kabro from empire just.
Okay, Missy, my listen, I didn't pay attention. Me Nsem no. In classes. My ball. What correct me? Me da say. So what has in one man mungo say. Why? Brother Obi said people are traumatized since childhood and it's affecting them till now. Most definitely. No, yeah, be a society. Internet any party programming. Since I had to process, so they didn't do anything.
Nope.
Wicked neighbors.
Nope.
Yes, he could have called for help. You know, yeah. I mean, to say no, maybe say over to me, brother Ankra. To say what, brother Ankra, me landing. Ya na una me ba. Brother Brian, where are you? Sister, yeah, prepare baby. I will walk.
I'm in Ledbridge, 2.5 hours away from Calgary.
Sister,
I know say me mami or Edmonton.
Oh, brother Ankra is not going to show his face. Oh, yeah, you meant you don't find any woman. Where we are the one who ever has it. Brother Ankra, quest, Yamu Aquaba. What person on mute?
Missing in action.
Annie, what is saying?
Nyame adomo na muso e.
Yes, I do need to.
Yes, you could have star.
To say that your mama when you are mini uncle to a mema. Brother Ankra, and then once so we name the kakra pesa or the beka anything.
In fact, this I said we yeah, but sometimes no sometimes we are being brought up, no. I mean African mentality, no. Well, but as we are growing up, no, we grow up to learn so many things. I get my point, and we don't have to depend on. I mean those. I mean
society no me. Asofo
no we no. Me asofo no they are just like us. I get to my point, and they also learn to. I mean come out with. Some ideas that they've read from the book and other stuff.
Now say be monkey. Some people don't read; they just use their brain.
Taking advantage on us is because we don't want to learn.
No correct.
Some of them refuse to. Read widely.
No correct.
And they take the advantage of it. Say standing on that point, no, now omundi are deceiving ya debia. Well, because Nyankupo obo wiase, debia I mean catch nkofo say Nyankupo obo wiase wie no. Wakwakoda on sorry ebiom. Obi a obeka say Nyankupo ni say nipa no trofo.
No more Nyankupo wiase ne.
Nyankupo obo wiase no. Ojaye bofo no because everybody has his guardian angel.
No correct.
That is taking care of him or her. I get my and those people are responsible for your whatever that you are doing in life. And at the end of the day, they go back to give account to God when the time is due.
Most definitely, but what I don't get is say we have some so-called asophonom. Now I be one more to be catch us a men no me. Nipa that's a nibie ni to me obetimi anu me nipa unless it's wakwaji bosumdro enom ne ho nkro ne ba ena odi hwehwe yi ena nyame nso no obi the spirit, the spirit of God, nyame ono wometna wiase enchesi mao etino asofo no tell your kind they are fresh as we are. They make mistakes. They are mere human, but most Christians, most church goers, they worshiping. I'm sorry, no, I'm sum nyami o, sum brother ya opoku yemu akwaba. Sum nyame. Obi wo ho ye Christo ni so enye nyame na osum no, because I mean, na brother Ankra, wo fo say DNT. Why do you think say? In most cases, a lot of church members are more inclined, especially the women, are more inclined to listen to their pastors' advices, manipulation, lies, and follow through what they ask them to do instead of using their own brain for it to make their own decision. Why is that?
To me, no, I don't think most of the women, follow that, trend, because it's only a few of them that, they've not grown up to, learn so much that because most of the women, actually, most of the times I do say that, after God creating everything, He created man. He didn't decide to create woman. It was man who requested for woman.
No, correct.
God has his, even though God wanted to create woman, no, He has his time that He wanted to create woman. But it was man who put pressure on God to, create woman at that particular moment. And God realizing what, the intentions of man getting a woman, no, it made the woman, it gave some sort of power to woman that can control man. Correct man when he's going wayward. I get my point. But that's what most people have been saying based on that.
Does it mean the lack of knowledge, or like they just clueless?
Yeah, it's lack of knowledge. Lack of faith is part of it. Yeah.
Brother Benjamin,
but I would like to say that you are studying from each other. I get my point. Because knowledge is not given to only one person.
That's right.
We learn from each other. Whenever we come across anything, we share ideas, and then through that we try to achieve something out of it.
Most definitely. Me person who kasa no be the holy angel kwadwo. Me ni baby okwanya angel ni free. Me a me ni no. You know, the angel no. Me ni baby or adopted free. Holy name so a different story to talk about. You too.
Saint Ajwa as that's your meeting.
Brother, I would say.
Yes, yeah, was it so? Yeah.
Brother Quiz.
Yeah.
Me pacho. Auto crab if you are brooch read the bag and a cry if anything. Auto crab now the see play with the bag and if anything.
The same thing. But you see, let me correct something. You see, sometimes, because brother Brian, right? He said, it's assumption, and or they created that perception, because no, that's your assumption, because
no, how can you say my assumption?
No, I told you the truth, but you chose to think otherwise.
It was before. It was after I asked you what was going on.
No, it wasn't before that, because you even explained on one of my program, and I don't delete program. Maybe some program delete it. I didn't delete. You came and said,
go back.
And
not just when you pick the phone, you would pick the phone.
They
say crowd exercise with your crowd pant you.
Nasa you pant, but it's we are used to it now.
Listen to my statement. Right now that you do exercise out of the bar life, you don't pant.
Yeah, now were you watching all my exercise?
Oh, please, I've been exercising
for some time, and to say we be before Fran and then
those days now exercise.
But I'm saying, say that is your it's your assumption, because a lot of times, me I made them who I do order. My catcher said, "This is my situation." And you say with the holy angel obi America in crasses and me say pasiasam entina no so no esa you trust my son say tau without really slapping me. Anyhow, no.
Oh yeah, my sister.
But and no, what dream what they are told him, because it's that time no me ba me the can't dear who has some no me I didn't know. There's a what dream one near mommy the point. Brother Brian.
Adwa, let me cast some. Let me cast some way.
I go me too. We don't hear you. I go mix you rough.
My meeting myself back. My own meeting myself.
We can hear you.
Adwa, my own meeting myself.
But you know I can mute you again. And I can mute you again. I can mute you, sir. Go ahead, Brother Brian, speak.
Adwa, you are warned.
Speak, Holy.
Mm-hmm. Speak. Yes, sister. As the truth is, that particular day, I may know what casa so many times, right? And making a tear for a better masse. That
was abuse.
Listen,
he bullied me.
Wakasa anopa. In between anopa ni area, me no wakasa. It sounded very okay.
Okay.
Me no was to na ke fie adwuma ba e na aka je se bra ma minya wa na ke ya ba idie. I have to go for my, and I'm so one who nya wo kan okwa akoye and now say I na akoy. And getting closer to ewiem wo kakra no o flash me friend now so one frame a mistake na I'm say hey mistake there no.
It was a bad down because everyone who broke the last person
boy na said hey.
That's what you said.
It happens.
My phone is expensive. I don't play with
it happens. It happens. Until I heard you so mistake. Now for later on, me your time, my fro. Me friend what? Oh, they said what to make a crack of the mountain Kilimanjaro crampa. Oh, homesa.
That are not there. You judge me and you create your own understanding.
Yes, brother Chris.
Time I offer to back no. Na ebia wako jogi abado. One say uko jogi bada ebia
that time no na
my phone was in the living room. I'm charging my phone in the living room. I was in the bedroom doing inventory. Until the phone was ringing. I didn't hear the phone was ringing. Until K and no catch me say I do our phone no ring it. So no K walk kitchen to or not ringing. It's me from bedroom no into the living room no. There is a wall, so I have to run all the way, curve myself, and then run to the living room to grab the phone before the phone goes off. It's me far phone.
Okay.
The rush, you know. I just pick up the phone, and then Brother Brian came in camp. I was hey, say I make it. No, I have to run to get the phone. Was on TSC. And you know, sometimes you know, they judge you.
It's my bully wrong.
No, of course, because
Facha me why?
You didn't trust me.
Facha me. It's here from Pam. Woman now me fa ko to go from Pam sister Penny.
Me adwa no the way I met you no. Me feri adio. Me ma.
But why you cry about catch say why?
That's me. I can't lie. Because I didn't know everyone from Mrs. Akitwa and me mammy. I almost say
sister Sikadi at home. Or see on no queer tone. Will be friend no name say was in the middle of the act. And there.
Now say me if I was in the middle of the act and no crying I'm the best work for me home. Now say I Bobby. Na me nya na wo sade to me so na no na ya me ya.
And when they ya say breath now we so hard no was the preparation now we me cut off.
I don't have the right to go through that. What too many cars? My fan said the whole month. One too many cars. Now,
me mommy out of brass. K was in the kitchen. K's
and I was in the bedroom, and the phone was in the living room. You see, that's 3 places. And then this young brother decided to call me a name without having understood. But the fact is that I was hurt.
Ajwa, this name I'm a dema yes,
it's abuse.
Ajwa T. A very first day nana yes set it up and stream a yard was we. Listen,
Brother Brian, Allah,
that was the day. One my brother quiz cause no was be a cobaya tested to. And I was giving nicknames. I the beba out. Cause me catch say we didn't need my publicized that. But I say me ma Nikki, right?
No.
And I can't say Ajwa as.
No. But you know
Ajwa as now per meaning.
And your friend is evangelist said, Mama, let me explain this. Young guys are making today. And some more. And the sister Sika said, my sister, it does happens. Minim say, see, na me nanka me di me ho anka me ka chen say me di me ho. And I nka me di me ho so I mean too many ka. It's
oh, I didn't have me o say me bully you.
Me na me ka chen say me di me ho.
Sorry, say me bully you.
Trying. Na me di me ho na me being in action and stopping to come answer my
even
if the Pope is calling, I will not stop my
is so emotional. Very emotional.
You have made me emotional for a long time.
This happened like 3 years ago.
And that's how you have abused me.
No.
You have not been listening to me, Brother Ankrameboa. First time on the buy, I explained it, but he was not willing to listen. I have explained it, and you were not listening. You were not willing to listen. But
that period, Bishop, Mike, this thing was supporting.
Bishop said the whole thing.
Right? Oh, Brother Uncle, you need to. Oh, yeah, anymore, yeah.
Bishop, we are
not knowing he's in the middle of the act. Me,
yes, sir.
Tell me if I'm in that position, let me phone ring. Yeah.
Oh, Sister Sika.
I don't go carry nothing.
Sister Sika, I'm apologizing, but
he was in the kitchen. Case closed. Thank you, Sister. Yeah. Carry on now. We're going to carry on.
I'm trying to apologize, but my sister is so pissed right now.
I accept your apology. With your young call. But Ankra.
Sister Juan Pacho, Facha Noy.
And you know, your friend is and Brother Ankra quest. I need to say, as someone person me push out one because me will learning to me, you know, you to send your brother Brian the age now from beginning of the yes, sister, the late gospel musician Osinachi Niwono. Again, what have we learned from her ordeal, her tragic death, being killed, and what can we do to empower, ourselves, each other, for either one of us to become a victim?
His brother is there.
Yeah.
Media, I one gig no bio.
I knew.
I feel what you are saying.
Oh. Brother Anka, question Busaya dear mediator me say what have you learned from your sister Iwui? And how can we empower each other to not become the next victim? Ewo Yabrabo.
Yeah. One thing. In fact, we know I am very sad. In fact, I'm very sad about what happened to her. But ade baako a mpɛ sɛ yɛn na yɛnsua ne sɛ everything. I mean, everything is about us when it comes to relationship or marriage. Are you getting my point? Sometimes we do get advices from other people, but he who is in the soup knows how it bends, or the how the taste looks like. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
And nyama bi wɔ hɔ a ɛnti na nyankopɔn ama yɛ adwene sɛ at least sometimes we need to apply the brain and then the knowledge that God gave to us.
No, correct.
When it comes to certain issues. Ade baako a mepɛ sɛ mema adɔfo sua wɔ saa ni wei no tragic death no say sometimes you won't red light mema yɛntwɛ aso abusu ansa na yɛatake yɛ decision.
No, correct.
Well, even though you say Bible no can say this, Bible no nipa na ɛtwerɛ yɛ. Na Nyankopɔn pɛ sɛ nipa ade a Nyankopɔn akasa pɛ sɛ the direct words no Nyankopɔn pɛ sɛ Bible no.
No, correct.
Those things no yayi nneɛma bebree wɔ mu. Because if you should look at the initial Bible no about out first no, and at the case ya no, but say omayi nneɛma bebree wɔ mu. Even some of the scripture, the quotations ni we know what Bible no.
Yes, and Hebrew muno, the translation no, it be conflicted others. Into which means any Bible translate, they were conflicted because where it means different, right? Because as simple it holds more weight than you just use basic plain English, right, Brother Brian?
Yeah. And what was says here Bible no matron in such a way say be favor nipa no a otroye no. But the exact way na Nyankopɔn pɛ sɛ yɛnyɛ no. Wow.
Yeah.
Enti nyama bi wɔ hɔ a wokɔ social bi mu wɔ relationship mu a na wo sɛ no the nipa no de kwan a nipa no ɔde me fa so no ɛnyɛ a the earlier the better. Now I withdraw from it. And
most definitely.
I call to some extent say unto me way unto me sister what dream
yeah. I mean, it's a brother uncle, somehow can, and I'm just going to put this in, and then I get the final thoughts from you guys. I will do promo, get the final thoughts from you guys, and then we close. I mean, to say
Yeah.
in everything that we do as human, both genders,
Yeah.
women, men, even to embed in our children, we should not get burned out, right? We also need to ask ourselves, we need to ask this question each time you are either told or asked to manage someone, right? How is it
Yeah.
my job or your job to mold someone else when you yourself have not done that for yourself, or you are
Mhm.
broken yourself, right? And needed the
Yeah.
fixing? Because one cannot fix another if they themselves is not in a good place. Majority of people have allowed the society, community to dictate their every being just to conform to their limited expectations, right? And belong in their baseless, to belong in their baseless lifestyle or their baseless thinking. As people, why, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, uncle, aunties, or daughters, sons, and husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriend. We need to understand what may work for each one of us, right? We need to learn to
Mhm.
break our home, but we cannot, by learning different skills to change our lifestyles, to live peacefully, more happier, carefree, loving, successful, caring life without no restraint. Because a lot of times when we put restraints in our life, it's like, being chained to something, and um, you are being prevented from, stepping outside your comfort zone. We shouldn't allow that, because a lot of times what happens is that um, we just give people our power, especially when it comes to religion, and we shouldn't have to do that. Religion is not supposed to make members to become idiotic, to just be followers. Now, if you're going to follow someone, now you need to make sure that the person you following has purpose and they are building something into you, something beneficial. We are our own miracles. I see, say, I'm me myself. I am my own miracle. I can pray for myself. If I want miracle, if I want change in my life, it comes on me. If I want to learn new coping skills, it stamps on me. Brother Brian, you yourself, Brother Anka, Sister Atobra, Sister Sika, Evangelist, Sister Aisha, Sister William. You guys, I can learn one or two things from each one of you, right? But it's up to me for me to pick each one of your wording that you gave me today and to apply to my life on my own timing. I may not be able to utilize all of your beneficial things that you put on the platform today, but having that knowledge, I will be able to practice it. Because sometimes, in order for you to add new things to your life, you always need to deprogram your dysfunctional mindset. Because if you don't deprogram something that is not working for you, where is the space you're going to store the good things that you have learned? So, like, you have people, they act dumb, they don't think intelligently, they don't have emotional resilience, they're not proactive. Because most human, we are reactive. When we hear things now, we go and talk about what we heard. When we do things now, it's what we heard, what we saw. But all of us can see someone acting. If we have a detective come and ask us what we saw now, the stories, some of them will be similar, but it will be totally different from each other, because we see things differently, we hear things differently. Our level of understanding and emotional intelligence is different. So sometimes people talk based on what they understand. And the
Yeah.
Bible, even though there are a lot of confliction, this is how I see the Bible. The Bible is not meant to hurt human beings, and the
Yeah.
Bible is not um, enslaving anyone, because most of the wording in the Bible, is encouraging, right? And it gives people the knowledge, that because some of the things that happen in the Bible is happening today. the lies, the deception, the unfaithfulness, unsupportive, being able to dupe someone, not loving someone. So it's like, and then we talk about our society, how our society, enable polygamy, right? Some people want to, you have a lot of men to make their point and, giving reason that the men don't cheat, women cheat because men, our society allows them to have girlfriends, right? And then you have some of them, even including my husband Kay and my brother Samuel. And I'm saying their name because I want to pull them on this platform for them to come and defend themselves. They will use
They won't come.
They will use King Solomon. So I told Kay, if he can be married to 700 women, I will allow. If he can have 300 girlfriends, I will allow. Once he does that, then I will shut up. If he cannot be married to 700 women and 300 girlfriends, then I don't want to hear him use King Solomon's story to me, because nobody on this earth will be able to establish that. So why are you bringing something you cannot amount to it? Because it doesn't make sense to me. And I think that is a baseless, defense to use. A lot of men use King Solomon. Okay, fine. So you want to do that. Don't have girlfriend, marry 2 women. Let's see if you can handle 2 wives. Let's see if you can handle 3 wives. Why are you telling me, say you are allowed to marry 3 people, 2 people, right? And 3 people, but you don't have the ability, the financial means to be married to 2 people. But God knows, and I'll be damned for you to be married to me and then have a side chick on the side. Are you crazy? You decree? Then as for me, I know myself, and I know what I can handle and cannot handle. My mental stability, is more important to me. I will never die foolish death. You know why? Because it's not my job to make my husband happy. My husband's job is to make himself happy. My job is to make myself happy. When 2 people knows how to make themselves happy now, they can selflessly transfer that onto their partner. So if you are a man and you're sitting there for your wife to change you, you are a fool. If you are a woman and you're sitting there for your husband to change you, you are a fool. No prayers in this world can change your husband misbehaving. No prayers can give you a new husband or a new wife. You can pray for your protection, for you to have open mindset, for you to learn things, to build yourself. Don't pray for somebody to stop entering another person's tonga. Because if that person is going to ask the tonga, because before a man enter the tonga, they have to use their hands to open their zip, take the pants down, shorts down, your friend is saying boxers or brief down, and then carry their whole police aba to go and enter. The thing does not go and enter on its own. It takes actions to do so. So don't tell me no foolishness about our society allowed 2 wives and 3 women. So why you not married to 2 women and 3 women? Yes, brother Brian.
The me me kind of say ye be you nyame asem be you Bible. Edi aye nyame say ni be empire. We should do it right.
Exactly. I agree.
Read the word yourself. I'll go back to movie Sister Sika editor and I said Sister Nanabna.
Yeah, Sister
War Room. Make sure a movie strengthen me in certain ways.
Yes.
Bear no can so call business trip, not knowing so your side checking in the whatever.
Yeah.
Oba no wo fie na obom pae no. Doing what was right. Na bear ni
No correct.
But Oba no grooming himself to the extent say empire na obo no take effect. Ewo bear man so. Okay, that particular scene na Oba ne bomb empire no bear man ni nyata me ache. Echo washroom. Ufi washroom by no when you change of mind. That was when he returned home. Oh, tiye to me read the Bible no emfa no pieces nante. Na ye sorry na Kofi Kinata ta eka no. War part-time Christian, you want to fight a full-time devil.
That's right.
You the joke.
Of course.
Yeah.
You the joke. Inti si ye best say ye dem pa bo eya ade dia. Me da bia meka. Me say me Brian. Die hia se mebɔ ho mpae. But die hia na hia se bi nyansa ne nimdie. Se me de ade ne beto na mfiri nto ma fa nto wa me se Awurade boa me. Abra me bi gina ho me na twitwa me nsan twitwa. Na me hanya me for what?
No, we have to make the effort because it is a ubon mpae na esuru mie. And then she ran free through and meto na so. It is a what one say, excuse me, you don't go and fill application. Utifie, you waiting for someone to go and refer you. Now you don't go and seek for that now or search for a job now. Now we bumpire, obi wo hono or store. There are so many people, they have their own store with merchandise in it. They close it 24/7 and sitting in the church praying. Everybody no be in Tom and Newama. Everybody say, meanwhile, no obi our young neighbor was wakwaji sikedro. Wakwaji wamayan towadie. What to storm? So what brother Bram no honema to me storm. Na there be a hiri baba langan tanka.
Just no use piece of the gum nya me akwa tena ho na mabie na me sigu so me sere kire nkrofo
customer service and only asem no sad dysfunctional mindset no sometimes you listen to some people and you say is this person thinking of with their brain or with their buttock? Because sometimes we will have some of back and a bone. Yes, you could hear 9 year 9 say at the end bano and
yeah, that is the essence.
You have to remove it from your body, right? But why are some people keeping those stinky stuff in their mouth, to produce to us, which is very bad? And as Sister Sika said, oh, Brother Brian, Sister Sika said, most men use David and Solomon when they cheat.
They cheat.
Cheating or want to cheat. Cheating is a choice. Yeah, well, men shower for and you want my shower for honum. Men don't cheat,
as a old turnium.
And me absolutely no prayers. Thank you, sis. And and I have to pick and choose buffet. They do with the scriptures. Now that obia on padepa. Obia onumi or pese or put someone down. Obia they want to empower someone to bring someone down. They always use scriptures, and the scriptures, they never follow through the whole scripture. Ephesians 20, is it 22 verse 22-25 or like maybe I'll say, women should be submissive, no. And more good with Bible scriptures, no mami who. And men should love their wives, right? And we naturally love, right? And mama, it takes a lot for you guys to love. In Tinyan Kupon say, submissive because waba wano so ode no pim na empim no e wo be masani obetreat wo hokafo beka say tia because the men bebre a lot of men ask for their partners to respect them, but the words that they say from their mouth does not equivalent to getting that respect. So if you want respect, you need to give respect. If you want love,
Ephesians 5:25-32.
Thank you. We cannot limit ourselves, for other people because they say, like we need to certify them. A lot of us, we suit other people's, desire. A lot of us don't know that we cannot differentiate between our needs and wants, right? And our needs and wants are two different things. I focus on my need, and it took me a while for me to focus on that because I share this. I struggle in my marriage the first 2.5 to 3 years. I was always bickering, arguing with my husband because I felt it was his job to make me happy. I thought it was his job to do some, things that I could have done it myself. And it took me taking some webinars, seminars, having some trainings to really understand, say, everything I want in life, it starts from me. So if I allow myself to be controlled, if I allow myself to be mistreated, if I allow myself for people to speak to me anyhow that they want now, that's going to be a trigger effect. Whereas anybody can speak to you anyhow. Over here, we come to learn, share information, and also teach. So over here, we do not disrespect, we do not insult. So it's like if you want one of the people, you come when you go on my platform, all the videos that I have done, they long, but they all sense. Even when I'm talking nonsense now, it makes sense. You know, for someone who is knowledgeable, no, like I go and learn and come and share. But to say like, you know, if you come, you disrespect, I will give you a prompting, redirection. If you cannot listen because your mind is like burned out now, it cannot receive things now, I will block you, because that's one thing I learned and I love about Facebook. And before I block a proof 1,000 because me chin kwasi asem
Ajakraja, we are rough, we be block.
But you know, so we are our own, we are our own miracle, right? And we cannot run a foolish race, right? Then expect to come on top, because when you run foolish races now, it's either you're going for your downfall or you're going to get burned out. The foolish, like the stigmatism, the bad mouthing, lack of support, being outcast when one chooses to leave by divorcing, you get labeled. We shouldn't become desperate to favor others. We should not, love someone who does not return the love, because a lot of people don't think that love exists. It took me a while to understand. Say, when I was dating, I thought I was in love. I thought I knew what love is, but it took K and I for me to literally know about love, because when Kay and I got married, and this is nothing new, I cared for him, but I wasn't in love with him. After 3 years of struggles, 2.5 to 3 years of struggles, up and down, me jawa more than 100 times. Me last time I me pack him in Nyoma, me kwatna care ni ma answer na me spark. Me papa say mo kan e be see me tim say me ma me nya ma adwen say. Sɛ me ni me kun nya akasakasa me wo fie bi dem. Me kun mu me. Sɛ asɛm na asi no me ntimi ene ni ho komo na ye nya understanding. Sɛ bi ebetimi affect no ne ade na me feel sɛ me ma me ne papa nso wa abrochire nti no. Da me kun me ne benya akasakasa no ade akitikiti bi krampo, because the nneoma bi wo ho a me ni me kun ya argue why it was petty stuff. It wasn't worth it, but at the time, no, na menti our reaction. So, no, like after 3 years, as time went on, based on K actions, because he used to say, make us say argument or catch him say when him say or do missing essence and me don't. But me or can I mean can't we? Because sometimes so be can't some now cause us one now quite some thing. But he saw based on my action. So he didn't need me to tell you, say, oh, I love you. I can say I love him 1,000 times and not mean it. It's not the things that we say to each other. It's the things that we do around each other. That's going to, build up your partner and have your partner understanding. So I fall in love with my husband as time went on. Okay, we've been together. We're going to 19 years now. We've been married. It's going to be almost 16 years now, right? And I am proud of myself that I did not allow petty stuff to destroy our union. Because it said sometimes, you can listen to what people say, but being in an abusive relationship, you shouldn't stay in abusive relationship to change your partner, because if they did not change then, they're not going to change now. And you can lose your life just like that. So we should not don't be anyone's puppet and be entangled in a heartless partner, because we do have a lot of partners now. They didn't do us justice. And it's not my job for me to raise my husband, because that was his mother's job. Parents, that's your job. And all the men out there, it's your job to
that
raise
is
your
what
sons.
everybody should know, that we cannot change our partners, cannot mold them into any shape or form.
That's right.
They've grown out of it.
Yeah.
Just do your part. Play yours very well. And if anything will happen, it will just affect, or it will take effect on them. So do not think, when you have a child and you want to train your child, that is okay to do, because you are molding the child from the onset.
That's
but
right.
a man, a full-grown man, a full-grown woman that you are living with,
no correct.
Now better me and me sir. Yes, me. Exactly. Me edu baby, I said to myself, say, membe ye sa mema na wo kantam nipa so ni bi. Right. Ajwa, and me your others who use ni last name.
And it's not
the last name. Hwe baby a me free bay na obi tia se me ye writer. Me free Ghana bedu krom ha. Oyi oha oye ne documents o ni bibia oye. Ye ware wo Ghana. Mentumi anka nche no Ghana say, yeah, before you be call register wo AMA. My last name. Change say you should respond to this name and all that. And even that last name in the crown, I was ever ready to drop it.
because of what you experienced.
Exactly. It's me, my middle name, no, and then I used to as my last name. I wasn't answering to. Me baby komu hanu mo na me ye imagine say, Professor Billy to me for. Actually, me say, when we say bitterness, oh me mo. If I want to live and be happy, I should pray to God. Say, God, and me successful from pong. What I say? That is the advice a man and the man. And me boss empire and so. As a son, your ma baby.
No correct.
As a son, your ma baby. Instead of say you when you say, want to me show be say, tensional also son. And this is where I started to look at my from. Ti me be do baby na I say near maybe air crow in. Our real be also no want to quite any. And as
I mean to say here and NTSC.
The one worry, that's a win share or tie be and I wouldn't misunderstanding now. You are not marrying.
There is something wrong somewhere.
Exactly. You haven't done what you need to do. So me do baby.
Partner should not be constant.
No. And I make I say me say voices when voices are being raised that I take I lead myself to the washroom or
me, I go jogging. I go
something to cool you down. Because I did not quite when you say, oh kasa, can for kasa, na more bang, na more kasa, na definitely oban anobeye in a way.
And that's a you.
Exactly. Remember, me say we share me, sister. You are very careful.
Brother Brian,
yeah,
my Frederick. Brother Frederick, me more aquaba, ukita mini abemedi. My to say I love my brother to death. What's it? And he's 100. I agree with him 110%. What's it? Too much hypocrisy. In the African community, her death is not going to stop abuse. And because I know time for change and less of the ignorance. You come and not many infitiation make yes and come but to say, oh, and community in Komoya Mido, Mammy, Mrs. Sayato Rana, a sandy bag group name. It is say no nkwa na you breadwinner oba it is say yabu no kuno nti sister ya na yi nti no na nka me dwene ntem anka me connect nti no mo behwe afiri ha say why tiefo me ba let me bring the up. Oh, come on. Let me bring the volume up and then play. Domestic violence. We assume the woman doesn't have her own source of income. We assume the woman doesn't have her own house. We assume the woman is a poor market woman in the market with 9 and 8 children and a drunkard, deadbeat husband who doesn't take care of her. But look at this picture here. Look at this picture behind me. Look at all these women in this photograph. These are just a few domestic violence stories that we have covered on this page since the beginning of this year. In barely 5 months, we have talked about 5 different women who have been killed by their partners after enduring series, months, years of domestic abuses. Osinachi's case is not unique. It's a common trend. Every single woman you see in this picture were breadwinners. This was a lady killed in Abuja earlier this year by her fiancé, and she was the breadwinner in that relationship. She was the one who rented the house that they stayed in. She was the one even paying for her own bride price. And she was the one looking forward to sponsoring her own wedding, only to end up getting beaten, maltreated, and eventually murdered by her fiancé, who stole her ATM card and planned to run out of the country with it. This was the lady killed in Port Harcourt some few months back. Equally a pastor in her own right. I think her husband was also a pastor. She was the principal of her school. She had her own school, one she built with her own money before she even met her husband. Without her husband, she could take care of herself and take care of her children. But she too stayed in her marriage, and when she was asked why she was staying, she said she wanted to show examples to the people in church. She too was hoping that one day God would open the eyes of her husband to stop maltreating her. This is MC Bono's wife, the story we are still not even done with. Beaten to the point she lost her pregnancy and also lost her life. Did I say pregnancy? She lost her baby. Was she capable of taking care of herself? Definitely. I mean, part of the news was that she borrowed her husband 2 million naira. So clearly, she was a millionaire. But somehow, she stayed in a marriage where she was constantly being beaten and mistreated. She stayed. She could have left, but she stayed. This is a story we talked about last week. The woman who returned from Scotland only to be doused with petrol by her husband over her own properties. Chinyere had money. Chinyere could build a house by herself. Chinyere took herself out of this country to sponsor her own master's degree. Chinyere got herself residency for her family in Scotland to live and work. On her own, she could take care of a nation. She was educated. She was exposed. Everything that we all know about domestic violence, she knew then. Religion was not tying her down. Society was not tying her down. She was in Scotland. Yet, she was still a victim of one of the most brutal form of domestic violence that I have ever come across. Doused with petrol and set her place along with her younger brother by her deadbeat husband. And now today, we are talking about gospel singer Osinachi, whose talent and voice is racking in millions upon millions. She sang in Igbo, but she could speak English fluently. She was educated. She was smart. Everything that we know about domestic abuse, she was aware of them. She was not illiterate. She knew the situation she was in, but she chose to stay, hoping that her husband would change. We can sit here and debate whether or not religion is the cause, or society is the cause, or the church is the cause. But one thing that is a fact is that these women chose to remain in that situation they were in. It's not as if these men woke up one day and killed their wives. They stayed in the beating. They stayed throughout the abuses. Only God knows why they were still there, but they were there. Were they capable of being on their own? Yes, they were. And they were all equally young too. And if we are going to be particular here, they were all pretty women. Because I've heard a lot of women say they can't leave their marriage because they are old, they feel ugly, which man is going to look at them. All these women who have been beaten and killed by their partners in this picture here, they were beautiful. They were young women. No one to 50 here. It's not as if they couldn't end their marriage and still find good and eligible, honest, caring men still marry them. They could have easily found other men, but somehow they chose to remain in their abusive marriages. So what is happening? What is going on?
as sad as this picture is behind me, as sad as it is to know that every single woman behind me is dead because of their partner, my biggest fear is who is next.
Bam. Bam. When they next?
And he has said it right.
So much so. So it's
right.
like, yes, it's a choice most women make, because if you're going through some abuse, beatings and unpleasant, marriage life, and you choosing to stay now, that is something now, that's something that you have to deal with at the end of the day. So it's like, choice making, is very important for us. So brother Ankra could say, why doesn't she just leave? It's the question many people ask when they learn that a woman is suffering battery and abuse. But if you are in an abusive relationship, you know that it is not that simple. Ending a significant relationship is never easy. It's even harder when you have been isolated from your family and friends, psychologically beaten down, financially controlled, and physically threatened. I mean, it's a whole lot. There's a lot that is involved, and people need to be able to understand that the human mind can be manipulated, brainwashed, broken down into something that one cannot, they will not have the capacity or the ability to help themselves. Because, as I said, Sister, I use these words a lot, and it's true. They are at the point of helplessness and hopelessness. They are stuck. They don't have any way to go, because if you are thrown in a pit and you don't have any grip to come out of it, you don't have any ladder being thrown in there for you to climb, because all those things has been removed from your space. How do you climb out from a pit, right? So it's like, sometimes, and Brother Frederick, put it right. Her death is not going to stop an abuse. We are in, like, we are in position, each and every one of us are in position to, prevent abuse based on, standing up for yourself. Um, saying no to domestic violence. Do not condone that. And, we have some men who literally tells, encourage their male partners to beat their wife if their wife is talking, is not listening to them. I don't know where some people have the idea and the audacity to think, say, they're the one who's supposed to put their wives right. And the wife, by marrying to the wife, um, they bought them, they belong to them. We don't belong to nobody. We don't. So, like, there is so much to be said, but we've been here for, like, we're going into 3 hours already. Sometimes I feel like some of the things we have to come talk about will only take 1 hour or 2 hours, and before you know it, the time keep going and going and going. When sometimes, we get to forget things. Sometimes, we don't cover some areas, what we need to um kind of like discuss everything. But her death is not, I mean, a lot of people are speaking up about it, but it's not, it's abuse is still going to go on. But we, each and everyone, needs to empower ourselves and stop it, because it starts from verbal abuse, being broken down. Because once it gets to the emotional and the psychological part, it's going to be very difficult, for people to, like, be able to get the support they need, especially if their support system is completely removed from them and they are isolated. When we meet someone, who does not love you, you are, you are wrong to cry, you are wrong to complain, you are wrong to beg, and etc. God knows the beauty the beauty of our heart. And if you don't know yourself now, just try to do the best possible way that you can. I mean, marriage is not by force. It's not going to bring us to heaven, because when the judgment day comes, even a husband and a wife, you're not going to even care as to if your husband or wife is going to hell, because you only focus on yourself. You're not going, oh Lord, please leave me and take my husband, or Lord, no, leave me and take my wife. That is not going to happen. So we need to put ourselves as first priority. There are a lot of causes, for someone to be an abuser. Brother Brian, you want to add something?
Yeah. All I want to say is, Sisiano Yekita phones, social media, I am very, very common. Am I? You read it a lot.
That's right.
You read it a lot. The American question say abuse ebe koso. Nima ebi munimunti na oma beye party to it.
Correct.
Right now, almost so. So see, the American say people should learn how to prepare themselves.
Yeah, that's gaslighting.
To leave an abusive relationship. And I have 5-6 things I want to share about. They are everyday things and common things that we can always do. Number 1 is understanding your financial standing. This is especially important if you are married to the abuser. Number 2, collect important documents. Those who hand over their documents to their partners. This is one way you can be abused and be abused and over and over.
Taken advantage of.
Yes. Being in an abroad country or back home in an African country, wherever you find yourself. Listen, take care of your documents. Hide them in your safer place.
Correct.
Because when the worst come to worst, you got to flee. And how are you going to do that if you don't have access to your documents?
Yeah.
Number 3, collect important. Number 3, start saving money. Start saving money. Those who goes like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it coming year. Time is not on your side, and you cannot control time.
Yeah.
Number 4, change your passwords.
Yeah.
This Obi Beka say, hey, Brian Ekawe, me first na me dream password. I may see me dream password because it's time of France. And no dan I may buy any access to my phone.
Of course.
Or recently, now me catch will be say I am documentless and I'm because me ba pay or challenge authority. And me as I share a program so that say all the gadgets in my house, TV, laptops, desktop,
parental control,
and you're connected to one email. It's mean by GIF tablet na you using if you some the moment you go on,
you know
back.
Yeah, you know.
Through my email, and it pops up on my phone. You know, it be out to home. I will say, I didn't actually turn off. That's parental control.
More than
yes. That's it was around 3 a.m. I had just finished with my second rounds. And I'm a cotton's name was a message alert. Me check it now, me bape hino. Eddie, my wife, old phone. I could see you on Impaho.
Yes.
OUC. 3 a.m. Meaning that location now phone no at the time. So I just click the button. And a freezy phone no. A freezy phone no. Till do fear no pan. I'm saying Malachi, where were you at 3 a.m. This morning? Or say I was asleep. Now Malachi, don't lie. Because my inside ready, so I'm cool trying to like a button off. Tiana, my wife started, oh no, I da make of nyane. Alvin son called you, so no, I done. I'm so no nigh. No, you phone. This was what he was watching. Make an me bag on the banner. So, Daddy, how did you get to know all this? And I'm saying, yes, you guys are being monitored. Oh, me yeah, and I'm also swear, baby. That room me took me fee, baby. I want to echo 2.5 hours away. Or Tracy me because or person who say a true say me quiet me back here. Me kona me use GPS. Kakra na GPS no I stop it like any ejuma. Ti nipa na not driving here say I the phone no person here me and I'm saying no. But I figured say something was going wrong. Ti me giant I'm afraid if he. And then besides I said, who amongst you is tracking me? And I'm a third one started sorcery. No, not so funny. Or strange. So I'm saying, Alvin, somebody's tracking me. Who is doing that? I said, Daddy, I'll tell you, but don't mention my name. It's Malachi. To me, the phone to say I'm fresh in the tablet, and so at the time I'm saying, you better stop what you're doing, or else I'll freeze your phone, your tablet. You know I can do that. And I'm freezing, so it's just a password. My lock, you know. It is a main call, baby. I make calling mine. I'm a command to me. I'm only access to it. On 9 chain, but you me, I am as a scene. On no so a way, on no so person screaming up. Send me to me, on the tunnel. Documents are must saving meme desktop so no. Me to me pull you on my phone, so me to me pull you on my laptop so. Me there to safer file no. What clear ni na mini baby
Well, if it's up to me, he will not have any electronic to tell you the truth.
Wa brepa ansana ya sa bedu baby fofo. Say I've learned say me use one email, me want my private email. And I me what email are still.
Yeah.
They are there me we have to save our passwords and change them, or always use what you can remember. Because if the abuser can break into your territory, and that means you are codeless.
You done for.
Only password.
You done for.
Number 5, reach out to loved ones.
Don't allow them to be isolated.
Exactly. Say, or no so be isolated if you love ones on one. You know your network.
Yeah.
Let it work for you. Me, Debbie Ameka, aware Emma Nipa as a son. And you're different. But now for our Abrabo, they increase you. They help you in so many ways. Those in our phone, keep them intact.
Yeah.
Keep them intact because you need them at your dying time.
No, correct.
Lastly, contact advocates. This is the last one I want to talk about. Contact your advocates. Your sister, in your advocates, on your counselors, and come to me abuano. But plead with them.
Yeah.
And obi told the to jogo from power chawa. Then I'll be clamping down. She should have done all this to save herself, but just as your brother Techika, it will never change a thing. It was a choice she made to stay in that abusive marriage.
Yeah.
You're discussing the way, you're deliberating on so many things. And the lot that has been said, on tape.
Oh, of course, it just bounce off, because the air kind of cry and some form.
Intimacy say, day in, day out, be your own security guard. Because we need baby a problem the best start here for.
No prepa. Brother Brian, I don't know the good inside a contribution about sister Obaka Sika said, least we forget emotional, mental, and psychological abuse is even worse. That's the most dangerous because it's invincible. People do not see it. When it becomes physical, at least you have the bruises so people can see it, right? So like when that happens, you are broken. Sister Aisha Ankara says society is killing a lot of women when it comes to domestic violence. Sister Aisha comes again. Women, we need to shine our eyes and be each other's keeper. That's something that needs to happen more often. Sister Aisha said, women, we need to work, aka financial freedom or
Freedom.
ebeboa. Brother Anka said, getting out of an abusive relationship isn't easy, but you deserve to live free
Yes.
of fear. Amen to that. The prayer. Sister Aisha Anka said, isolation is a
Isolation.
killer. That's one of the silence killer, right? And then Sister Sage Williams said, it is sad as we speak, abuse is going on right now, but unfortunately, some choose to stay in the relationship for various reasons, best known to them. Nokre asempa nieka. According to the hotline.org, they saying abusive people believe they have the right to control and restrict their partner's life. Often, often either because they believe their own feelings and needs should be the priority in the relationship, or because they enjoy exerting the power that such abuse give them. What is domestic violence the leading cause of? Domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to women. Most More than car accidents, muggings, and rapes combined. Coming from U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Domestic violence is the third leading cause of homelessness among families. And when you go to um, uh, a safe place for help.org now, you can get more information. They went into domestic violence. Domestic is a behavior that has evolved because it benefits males. Other factors which can be cause of domestic cause of violence include the influence of one's peers. And then maybe a home now for na encourage you yeah you may some partners, that's why having a lack of attention or respect, having low self-worth, right? Experiencing abuse or neglect, witnessing violence in the home, community, or media, access to weapons. um, this was shared by Haley Therapy. What are the main causes of gender bias violence? And then they have three causes of gender bias violence. Harmful gender norms, gender stereotypes, and are often used to justify violence against women. Hunger. Just as empowering women can help eliminate hunger, food secretary also leads to increased gender bias violence. War and conflict. How can we help the victims of gender abuse? How how you can help victims of abuse? We have to believe the person. We cannot doubt them. We have to listen with compassion and do not judge. Yɛkuro a long way to go because judging no never first. Three, we have to offer practical support, such as accompanying the person to the police station who is at greatest risk for intimate partner violence. Risk factors for intimate partners violence perpetration. Individual risk factors is low self-esteem, young age, low education or income, but we know that people who are independent, educated, breadwinners can also be a victim, right? Aggressive and delinquent behavior as a youth, heavy alcohol and drug use, depression and suicide attempts, anger and hostility, lack of nonviolent social problem solving skills, antisocial personality traits and conduct problems, poor behavior control and impulses, traits associated with borderline personality disorder, history of being physically abused, having few friends and being isolated from other people, economic stress, especially unemployment, emotional dependence, and insecurity. Believe in strict gender roles, which is Yukurumwedosopa. Examples: male dominacy and aggression in relationship, desire for power and control in relationship, hostilities towards women, attitudes accepting or justifying violence and aggression, which is a lot in our society, history of physical or emotional abuse in childhood. Relationship factors, reflect relationship conflicts, including jealousy, possessiveness, tension, divorce, or separation, dominancy and control of the relationship by one partner over the other, family experiencing economic stress, unhealthy family relationships and interactions, association with antisocial and aggression peers, parents with less than a high school education, witnessing violence between parents as a child, history of experiencing poor parenting as a child, history of experiencing physical discipline as a child. Community factors include communities with high rates of poverty and limited education and economic opportunities, communities with high unemployment rates, community with high rates of violence and crime, community where neighbors don't know and look out for each other, and there is low community involvement among residents, community with easy access to drugs and alcohol, weak community sanctions against IPV, example, unwillingness of neighbors to intervene in situations where they witness violence. Societal factors include traditional gender norms and gender inequality. For example, the idea women should stay at home, not enter the workforce, and be submissive. Men should support the family and make the decision. Brother Brian, why culture normal culture norms that support aggression towards others, societal income inequality, weak health, educational, economic, and social policy or laws, uh, protective factors for intimate partners, violence, penetration, relationship factors, strong social support networks, and stable positive relationship with others. Community factors will be neighborhood collective efficiency, meaning residents feel connected to each other and are involved in the community. Coordination of resources and services among community agencies. Community with access to safe, stable housing. Community with access to medical care and mental health services. Community with access to economic and financial support. And most of all this information could be found at cdc.gov. And to say like, there are so many things that we can learn from each other. We can empower into each other. 6 ways you can help prevent domestic violence every day of the year is to share resources, learn more about the movement, promote healthy relationships and respect in your community. Ask your workplace if they have a domestic violence program in place. Be a change maker in your community. Know the facts and share them widely. And to say like when you acquire information now, you come and share, talk about it. It doesn't have to come from you. And you let people know, say this is where you got it from. You go to Google, you get it from it. So it's not plagiarized because you just share that, to make sure that it's not coming from you. This is some of the things that you can acquire. That's why I gave you guys, the website, the link, whereas people can go and learn more. What are 4 ways to prevent violence? Tips for youth to stop violence. Tell someone if you are the victim or are witness to violence. Tell someone take all violence and abuse seriously. Take a stand. Be an individual. Take back the power. Don't allow people to take your power. Remember, putting others down does not raise you up. Uh, Wrongdoing is not right. You need to hold people accountable. We have to be friends. We have to be each other's friend. So it's a whole lot of things. And I'm not going to continue and go through, but just type in how to, not make myself vulnerable to being abused. It will give you a lot of information. Brother Ankra said, if you are trying to decide whether to stay or leave, you may be feeling confused, uncertain, frightened, and torn. Maybe you are still hoping that your situation will change, or you are afraid of how your partner will react if he discovers that you are trying to leave. One moment you may desperately want to get away, and the next you may want to hang on to the relationship. Maybe you even blame yourself for of the abuse, or feel weak and embarrassed because you are stuck around in spite of it. Brother Brian, wait me up. I have to know if I have to go. Let me see. I have to okay, I think I find it. Okay, right here. Don't be trapped by confusion, guilt, or self-blame. The only thing that matters is your safety. Great, that's right. And then the next one is Sister Aisha Ankra. She said there is hope. Abuse thrives only in silence, most definitely. If you are healing from an abusive relationship, no, okay, hold up. Oh gosh, where is it? Okay, if you okay. Oh gosh, I just lost it. Hold on. Oh Lord, give me a second. Me click here.
Who's are you reading? Sister Aisha Ankara,
Yeah,
right?
Sister Aisha. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Dear, tell me skip will be right. It said, now lie, you are a slut. You are worthless. You are not a good mom. You are ugly. Nobody will want you. Woman, please don't kill yourself over these words. Most definitely. And then
The
the next,
next one is there is hope.
uh-huh.
Abuse thrives only in silence.
Yes.
If you are healing from an abusive relationship, know the most important thing to
Hmm.
do is forgive yourself.
That's
If you
right.
find yourself in this situation, please seek support.
Amen to that. Thank you, Sister Aisha. And Sister Aisha came again and say, an extremely effective way to get out of the darkness of guilt and shame is by shining a light on it. Start talking about it. Don't keep the feelings inside. Um, shame can only
Survive
survive in
in
darkness.
darkness.
That's right. And Sister Aisha Ankra said, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much with your productive contribution as well. Brother Ankra said, if you are being abused, remember, you are not to be blamed for being battered or mistreated. You are not the cause of your partner's abusive behavior. You deserve to be treated with respect. You deserve a safe and happy life. Your children deserve a safe and happy life. You are not alone. There are people waiting to help you. Amen to that. And our beautiful sister Aisha Ankra with the X Factor. She sell Juice Plus and also Avon product. So we need to support our sister Aisha. If you want Avon products, you have to be residing in UK to do that. But for Juice Plus, anywhere in the world you can order the Juice Plus from her. So let's support our sister, because every platform that I go on, I see Sister Aisha supporting, sharing programs, like giving stars, like just contributing and so much. She does. I don't even know where she gets the time to do so. And then also our sister, our our beautiful sister, boss lady, Bakupe, hashtag that about Rasta, in Fire Drive.
Radio more presentation. Yes,
That's
and
right. Yes, Antoine. Uh-huh. In Fire Life radio, almost see Euja de Mankasa.
get the move.
Dadamu, from Monday to Friday, weekdays, 4 p.m. UK time. Boss about she brings a lot of different topics, very intriguing, educative topic to talk about it. So join her. She also have Thursdays, which she has dedicated that to our clinical psychologist, Dr. Bakupe, Obapa,
Yeah.
Sister Mreku, Sister Comfort Mreku, and she comes and break things down for us to have better understanding in the Akan language tree. So you have better understanding. We'll do a horse in for English is a universal language. We need to make sure say the boy and whom what they say be ye. After so no, we have ma metreboa and Accra in Sankofa musician Chi Kasano in Fire Life Radio as well Saturdays at 3 p.m. UK time. And then we have our author back sister ya for the Atrabra. Go to her Facebook page and her YouTube and subscribe and follow her on Facebook. She come live on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. MST and then EST time, 11:30. Sometimes she comes and talk about pages of her books. She has written 4 books within the COVID pandemic. What we're going through all this, traumatic time, with people who have lost life, a family member's life. My husband lost her father to by him contracted the COVID. It wasn't easy for him. And some people have not lost anyone during COVID, so they still don't believe it was real. But we have some people who lost 3, 4, 5 people in their family, which is like, it's nothing that we can get back. So with Sister Ya for that Chopra, you can get any of the books on Amazon, Kindle, and Barnes and Nobles. Her first book that she wrote is Reflection of a Thursday. So you go to Amazon, I'm showing this because I want people to see it so they don't say we didn't see it. Because sometimes people don't even read the title, the writing. So if you see the color now, say, oh, Sister Yato for that book. It's an inspirational book. And the second book, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. I love this book. I feel so connected to it. I have read it multiple times, and Sister Ya herself said, and from age 10 and up, you can read this book and you will love it. It's incredible books. The third one is Reflection for My Weary Soul. It's a devotional book. And the last one, which she launched last month, the 24th, is Own It, taking accountability of our own action. A lot of times people, just say things like, it's your problem to worry about, or like they give you reasons and blame other people for their own mistake. Sister Ya will say, "Sekatasumu." So those people who will cover up, family secrets and all that, you have to own it, right? And then we have our beautiful sister Ya B. Russell, right? You go to her YouTube, you subscribe her. She does program. She gives some videos of how to make. Me, I love chocolate chip cookies. It don't matter even if I get to my 90s. I'll go eat chocolate chip cookies. And
Yeah, you're in a bay chocolate.
and will be the baby. I love chocolate chips cookies. So she does a lot of things, even bad breath. She does a lot of things. Oh, that is a handsome son. Look at him. Hello. Oh, he just woke up.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that in his face. So, like, Sister Ya B. Russell, she does 100% natural health and beauty advocate. So, like, she is so DM her, get the information, support her. And then we have our knowledgeable sister Sage Williams. Yesterday, you guys saw my dressing. I was taking it with my kente outfits and stuff like that. If you want to have, she has a lot of authentic merchandises, t-shirts, creams, dresses, traditional dresses, jewelry, beads, scarf. If you want the one that you can do it yourself, wrap it yourself, or you want the one that is a hat, that is already made, you can get all of that. The t-shirt, if you go, you may not see the color that you want, but do not panic. Please don't leave. You go to sageshare.com, you order the t-shirt, the sizes, and then you're going to have a small comment box over there. You can put the colors of the shirt that you want, and she will reach out to you through your email. Your phone number is optional. So, like, if you put you put your phone number, she will call you. If you don't put your phone number, you need to make sure you put your email, so she can contact you and talk to you and make sure, say, she has all your orders, accordingly, just to get verification. Her customer service is like really fantabulous. I love it. So it's like, and then my big sister and boss sister Dachihima Efia Asantua Filonash, she also sell the Juice Plus, and sister Angela Naba also sell Juice Plus also, and they both also do program on social media, on Facebook, YouTube. So when you see their program, you can share them, contribute, because we are learning from each other. We shouldn't put each other down. It's not right. The more positive that we are and the kindness that we show, it's a blessing. A lot of people do not know that. Just be you and have a clear mind and a clear heart. Don't think ill of other people, because when you do that, it's you that you're hurting yourself. You kind of like hurting your blessings, because sometimes it might be brother Brian, through brother Brian, that I will get my blessings. So it's that I cannot be mean to him. I have to be able to empower him, giving him some positive words and stuff like that. You don't put someone down while they're down or stamp on them. It's never right for us to do something like that. And then our sister Civic, she has a boutique shop in Ghana. So if you visit home and you want to get some souvenir and some nice outfit for your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your children, a friend that you're very close to, you can go there and support her also. The more the merrier. So it's like, you don't have to, like, you can go all around. And kitwe obi kan asem brother Brown, I said then kitwe bi ensa, right? And no crepa. Afei nso yes sister na abna. Oba wa ye din wo contribute wa share the stories and so nom ni ade. But sister na abna enso e wo no an nsa no adwuma. She has her own products, organic hair products. Sister ya for that Chobra will testify on that. And like, it's organic. That's what I have been using for the past couple months, over a year now. I have stopped using any other hair product, because the thing is, we abuse our hair, women. We use different hair products, because when we hear from by mouth, oh, this one is good, this and that. Before I even came and announced it, I used it for over 6 months before I said anything about it, because I stopped using everything and then I started using that, and I was able to. I was Sister Rami, hold on. I was able to use it, and then I saw. Okay, I hear you. Just give me a minute. I started using it, and I saw the result. That's when I announced it. So if you want new hair product that you want to stay with it and just stop using whatever, reach out to Sister Nanabra. She also sell, ahwenneɛ. If you want it to custom made for you, I have a door hair. Like you can say it. You can say it, and then you see on my waist, it's over there. It's for hobbies alone, eyes only. I can't tell the color, but it's there. I mean, you're the two essence with me, nice shape and everything. So, different colors, exactly. You have different colors and stuff. So let's support each other. You chromo for say, obi ya dia, mommy and support to you. Why? Nenya crowd, the way we don't support each other. I do or don't meet me, but now I say, Kasasa makes sense. So, but obi and send me a stars. Why? Would you want to mean sending stars? No, want to mean sending stars now? Just contribute. Or contribution is support. Share the program is support. Come and let's learn together. And inviting friends is support. Liking, loving is support. You don't not everybody have to share the stars, because stars na yesa woto. And if you are not in the financial freedom, relief na misro men kobo ekebie ni kwase wobo enye by force eno you to say if you are kumemu and what they my sister senior, because me use to StreamYard. Brother Ankra has been so supportive, and Brother Ankra, I don't even know what else I know, right? I don't know what to say thank you and stuff like that. Every time, oh Lord, me she to say like, yes, who will near be at or yes, or checking on you. Yes. And no crap. And yeah, they don't care. It gives you a different feeling. And now, no, my friend, no fire. Just many diablos, and I'm saying, Brother Ankra, Brother Brian, Beba Life for Nubi, I need you to come on. Oh, and now Sunny Abakwano, he will sing. He will sing before we go. Yeah, Sister Rami, I mean, finish it with the promo, no, because I want to get that one done. And then we have Sister Angelina Ba. She also her Facebook page and YouTube to go subscribe. Angie Talks. You're right. ANGE. So just follow her Facebook page and subscribe her YouTube to support her. She's a 21st century nurse, and a lot of healthy stuff, things that we can do to be safe and be healthy. It's really important that we get as much information to keep ourselves, well. I think yes, sister, Mamle Yoko God wins. On also no. Epa Worldwide YouTube, go subscribe her. She talks about parental alienation. They say she's more focusing on abusive relationships and abusive, those who has been able to work away and survive. So it's really important. Let's support each other, give each other as much love as we can, empower each other, because it's not easy for a lot of people to be able to leave abusive relationships. It's really bad. I mean, like, we just have to learn to love. They are, sister. Oh, sister, yeah, Tora. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe program it's not my intention. Sometimes the talk, it just keep going and going and going. But to say, I am so grateful to yes, sister, we a program. Now we now nipa ba kokra program. Now it's a blessing. Let's say you have touched one person's heart, and that's what motivates me to come on, because nipa bebre ohon mo bi ohon mkra otimi nya kan. Obi kura mpo ka chem se me kasa ase na me move me nsa no me hu ye nehi me nya no hwi o me oh na me so say I talk with my hands into no say eya we here and family yeah no onko no mo po sister ya for that bra say awesome program. Powerful nuggets and insight. Thank you so much also for your support. Yeah. No crap. I mean, Annie, I know. Me tell you know, you know Obapa Rami. I didn't. There be many dinner time. I didn't let it affect me. No, me see many dinner time. I had say
Sister Rami, and they are money I attend
we didn't come for insult. Yeah. I don't know what because when him dear into your name the any Juma. So when you make it. Enti Rami, oh, Sister Aisha is a very powerful Sister Aisha. Yeah, that was it. When you now munim dear mode so now Rami, I know say you day. They're blues. Malusu are not somewhere winning. Enti Rami. What? It's impossible. It's impossible. What? Chelsea, you guys rock. You guys rock. Rami, brother Ankra said greetings to you. And Tino, why by joining it? I know. Brother Brian. Rami, at the end, I would the best also because I have to end this program. I have to go and get my kids food. We talk a domestic violence and no my betimi a betimi dia boy and one support to empower each other to prevent, unnecessary killing and tragic death. And near they to say yes sister late gospel musician Osinachi ni wo ya wo ye yenim say brother Frederick, said he said it right. Said it's not going to stop abuse, but to say bringing awareness and then empowering each other. I mean, to say who is going to be next. I'm sure in the next month or so we're going to hear another tragic death of someone being in an abusive relationship, which is. Yeah. 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 No correct. Oh, wait. I have to use this one instead. Different countries, but you will be Nigeria. Yeah, Ghana for the name say they are Lagos, Abuja, but Benin in Nigeria, Makoda. Yeah, Igbo language in Mekaso, Mekakakra, yeah, the song. And media makes a class, yes, Nikonda as a Ohano. So, see you back to be or boy, or say, or the I prosper. Somehow, no. Oh, yeah, no coochie. Brother Brian, my several way saying next time you don't have to text it to me. I the screen is so Brother Brian the business, information to contact him, to reach out to him as to how you can be part of the movement, the businesses, he has all the necessary information to provide for you guys, financial freedom, we just empowering each other. And to Easter Rami, continue, Miss Rao.
It's on Osinachi. Yeah, so yeah, gospel artist in Nigeria. Yeah, some are twins.
Yeah.
Some are twins. They could no abusing the son man of bad. Well, just here, Yanko Agene for a see, and I mean, say, Yanko the
Obi Ohonoma, Obi Oha, so is like wondering, because it will be saying, I had.
Yeah. I recall, but I guess something say, wood, yeah, a wood son, best will be a big, yes, it's me, and snag for the rest of our life. The Bible process saying, Yami, and now, or the orgy, or the my own once no. So, you say,
hey, Rami, me patoye making love, wow, Rami. The way you talking, we in a maku. I beg, speak fast, because I want to end this right here. Now that I say you what say we I say who banner we in a maku sir.
Oh no, and I said I'm using me by
what do you miss row? Make it fast now.
Okay, yeah. But make us some back on make us on the same. Who says the work our say that their money abusing will be the controlling life so much. You have to leave them married. Then can say in currency and now say because be a minister and I say me a pastor and I say this because of that I'm not leaving them married. I have to stay there because of my kids or because of being a minister or prime minister for Ghana or maybe Yeshuba. And I said, yeah, Christian pastors or anything minister. Because also, I mean, you know, but say, yeah, yeah, fair warriors because of abusive marriage, you know. And you know, we are Christian, we are pastor, evangelist. Because we're money to bad now. You know what? You have to leave the marriage and focus on your life and take care of your kids.
No,
because they might do that make them. Yeah. My own mother, I'm gonna say, oh, and quality. I mean, it's not our real say. And quality, not that money deep was a
Sister Linda say why I'm a cover.
Back comfort to everything. Right? It's not me to me now worry. I think I said, yeah, oh, and then it will bunch him up. After me, I will gonna see because of now. It's not when I saw be betting for me, but I
no correct.
I don't be but I send it here. The me them are woman, then no yeah, you so much, yeah, they try to go watching. Yeah, it's part of it. The tear. Osinachi, the tear is way. Yeah, none of them know up you say, so it's in Sunday one day I said, oh, me now get yeah, make our yes, me our and give me problem in power. And I mean worry so that away is me worry that. Me worry Saga, me worry so you get a catch up. Right. See you are there. It's a big national chase program now. You make us not
Mate, me that's a brother Brian, your final thought.
What I would say, and say, abusive relationship is not okay to live in. No matter where you look at it from, it's never okay. Into whatever it is you are going through now, do not wait till it changes or change comes, because change will come when the abuser is ready to change. And know that you cannot change them, for the betterment and everything about your life, and also know, say, there are people who look up to you for a whole lot. May Sister Osinachi, it was so amazing bebree and drag me the attribute man and me sense in. And me ya say me tonyum. And I have people I look up to. She's one of them. On mounted platform, they are or the etonyum.
Yeah.
Kenya me home, and I just can't come to terms say and neno she's
He's
no more.
gone.
And a bad thing, a bad check and son and nipa bebree betumi aka me to terms with.
That's right.
You know, me use this medium, which I have said before. What tibi mu a bo ho so, boa wo ho. Do the needful. Don't wait till it gets too late. Because too late is something you can never turn back. See, I say, Sister Osinachi are sorry, people will run away from her.
Of course, because she's a ghost.
Exactly. Nti no mesrɛ obia dia wo mu bia enkasa masɔre ene enkasa mabusuafo because the same people are going to come to your funeral and they are going to drink, they are going to eat after you are being buried 6 or 7 feet below. They are going to go to their homes and your family will be left all by themselves. Sisi America say makoma e bleedi my sister nemba ne pa.
That's right.
That is one thing that I have because unim di obesha wo mama o. Unim di obe no ba tan so no unim di anemba bedie. Ti mesre aha na me di besi. Bia di a wote ho. Said di ati bia. Walk. Take that walk. Go stand somewhere. Turn around and look at what. If there is a change and you want to go back, that's your choice. But if you don't see that change, please continue walking.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, so for in conclusion, what I would say is we are our own miracle. We are our own success. We are our everything. Marriage, when you have a companion, that loves you and care for you, take care of you, pamper you, and respect you in every way, it's a good feeling, right? Love does not limit one person. Love does not cause pain. So we have to be able to learn to love ourselves, do everything, self-care, self-work, everything stamps on us, self. So if you are in an abusive relationship or an abusive marriage or an abusive family home or in an abusive environment, you cannot say silence. You have to be able to use your words. As Brother Anka said, there are people waiting to help. Don't be fearful because you know what? Your life is worth so much. You are worth it. You are loved. We are all uniquely made. So don't listen to people or limit yourself or limit your standards for someone, to suit somebody's desire. Desire is something we can live without. Our needs is something that we cannot live without. So we have to focus on our needs. What makes us happy? My happiness comes from me. If I do not allow myself to be happy, if I do not create my safe environment, nobody else is going to do that. I cannot change my husband. I cannot change people around me, but I can change me. So you have to be the one to take the first step. And when you take the first step, something that brings you down, something that causes you pain should not be something that you stay in, and you don't do nothing about it. I want to thank each and every one of you, all the regular supporters, Sister Ya for the Atobra, Sister Sage Williams, thank you for the stars, much love to you. Sister Aisha Ankra, Brother Ankra, Quest, Brother Brian, thank you for being my my guest from beginning to now. Sister Rami, thank you for your support coming on and waiting to pray for us before we end the program. Sister Sister I saw Sika, you came on one time and you have been regular. I love it. And your contribution is like mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, to send India no man or yeah, war in India crab brother Benjamin Sifi, Doctor, I know, right? Dr. Joe Kingsley. K came on and he just went off because who are Ghana? And to me lasted that long. When I'm saying will be to say brother Frederick contribution, I love it. Brother Obi, Also, I love your contribution. I know you start your program. I'm still here. I'm going to join in soon. Hopefully, I haven't missed it. One oh my gosh. If I have not mentioned your name, and it's not intentional. That's why I don't like naming names, because since I had to for that, is so good at naming names. Brother Emmanuel G, thank you guys so very much. Like if you came on, I didn't say your name. As I said, really, really forgive me. Obapa sister Linda said, well, I know say you didn't say much, but you did, right? Sister Nana Bna, we thank you all for your productive contribution. Evangelist George, boss lady, and the boss lady mean who no, but it's a boss lady. I know say when she's not here now. Maybe I love all of you, those who share the program, who like the program, who has who contributed. I love you guys. Mama sene stars and so medama say. And yeah, the mube see her say nyame ya aduma. Watching out there, my imagine say, from Wednesday I'll go back for the, going out for walk, because my bodyguard will be here, which is K. Or see what name ever call. And I may say, say, na dum, na say what one follow through, eh? Munina mo beti. I go.
Sister, yeah, and Tisha, Okasa also Ghana. No, Oba do no time difference. Oba do times difference. Into yeah and Tisha.
Oh no.
Hey, I'm standing up for you. On your job, any issue.
Oh dear, 24 hours should be enough. Sister Rami, you are ready for the prayers. Why?
Yeah, man, Antonio, thank God.
Amen. Amen.
Jesus Christ, I pray. To me, right now, I see me. We are shown, sir. Boy, I hope I'm a but the years something any sure to me, right? I was I'm happy. I'm a 2 year history. Who am I? Yeah, I was so. We was next and effort. I was up for it. I was next and effort. I mean, we are shown, sir. To be in the stuff I can be any sure. They are tough is super for big in your home. Jesus Christ, now be now me word to me now personal become in your form by a home by a son and then be a man quite young. Yeah, a couple best super fire who be a majority Jesus Christ in the planning as we come in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, love me to be a show some day, brother Uncle Shaw, the Obibia or platform be a show, but it's sure and Panya of day. The idea is something could be a sure to me, Rabbi, a plan not as to my a proof, yeah, possible, give my game. The idea is something ever can be a sure that my Panya of day. So what I'm saying, and you can you when our boss for me as I say, and I was saying, it was saying this the left in the mountain of Jesus Christ. I pray, but I'm Minister Isha in the Bushra Shonsa, this side you are in the Bushra Shonsa, boss lady, a Bushra Shonsa, this side you are in the Bushra Shonsa, and brother Natina, the Shonsa, and running my own and pine, then my that is and you sure to me be a sorry, and my company what thing and what dream there is so the beer will be a sing. Yak was a wasn't say, so Panya what Tiana will be PM and Panya what in here saw some young for the my yay and young Panya what the beer and give it to me. I gave beer will be Jesus Christ dinner and Bradina. I was sick. You are that someone put him in Bible in the mountain of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Brian. Who are you be able to meet the Amayana?
Oh, there, and you ma metro no, say, Yaminim, na obetumi aye, metro de brofo. He's able, more than able, to accomplish what concerns you today. He's able, more than able, to handle anything that comes your way. He's able, more than able, to do much more than you could ever dream. He's able, more than able, to make you what he wants you to be. Midibesia as a 1% but
amen and amen. I'm person bought obey. Now person me free so.
Obey me na mami. Yeah, my yadi wama brabo mono. Obey me na free for.
Amen.
Amen. Rami, the affair no show na see you.
Me na me cancel. Onya na din so ba mama free so. Anya me pen na me dit na switch it. Amen.
Oh, Nana Kwesi, enemy Baba, and a common drum. And Colamu switch uncle, Naminya, Mamma, and I idea.
Oh, yeah, yes,
Amen. I'm fun and Sanka Rami, not Yampong.
Amen.
Mommy, shall I say sign off? Why?
And your mommy did from Osinachi, our sister late.
You are the God of power. You are the God of power.
You do only marvelous things. You are indescribable God. You are the God. You declare you act for the king. And from the ancient times, the king that will not yet done. You are the God of power. You Healed by your power. You deliver by your power. You can move. You can. You formed the baby without a womb. You divided the Red Sea by the breath of your nostril. You are the God of power. You can move. You can. You never know me. How can I explain to the Lord? The divinity becomes humanity. You are the God of You are the God of power. Hey, sister, I want to you are the song that I sing. Oh, my magnificent sister, I won't require my didn't. Our deepest condolences to Sister Ochina Osinachi. Oh my gosh, Osinachi. Osinachi family. Osinachi Nabusiafo. And also, may her soul rest in peace. But I will leave with, Sister Awomerikwa, she said, whichever form of abuse is not right to endure. Bam, I so agree with it. And she says, this is a message for the ladies, young ladies, and every, woman. Dear young ladies, it's all right to go back home alive when relationship goes wrong, rather in a casket dead. Oh my goodness, that's powerful. Like, we just need to use this as a learning tools, to stand up for ourselves in so many ways. I know Brother Brian, he has a very unique, beautiful voice. When he sings, it's a lot. Yep. That's great. That's true, Sister Sika. Wonderful voice, pa no kita. And yada mu nyinaa ma se adofo nom adwoa your case won't supple. A man of 40, 13-year-old. Why, yeah, yama on any sister, no sandwich, I'm on any abano. Yes, me now, more dreaming. Maybe, yeah, and yeah, no crown or your way say. Let me see. Hey, Sister Belinda Ejare, you here? Good evening to everyone, and hello, beautiful sister. This is very sad, oh my dear. Lord Jesus, amen to that. You're right. Oh, Doc, our yes, sister. Obapa Comfort Miracle Anim, say hello. How are you and the family? By the grace of God, we are all doing very well. Thank you. Ansonia Busian Fort to say, Sister Miracle Doc Uchia Monsumunina, Uchia Ubia. Is still going on. I'm poor abuse Nadia is still going on, brother Frederick Tichikam or say this death is not going to stop abuse. It's true. We have to empower each other and stand up for ourselves. Oh, this Yoko God when Kiara Manuel BHS, I am late. I think yes, I'm going off. I have gone above and beyond. Happy weekend to everybody, and then everybody enjoy their Easter Sunday. Take care of yourself. Make sure you do self everything. Love yourself. Care for yourself. You always have to put yourself as you are the first priority. You focus on you, because if when you get sick, or if you are incapable of taking care of yourself, trust me, some partners will not take care of you. So you always have to also take time for yourself. Over time, and nine. To say we are see a buy and yes, you can't think one nearby. We have to enjoy life, because as I say, we know what is happening exactly. If I die in the next couple years from now, most of you will write rest in peace, but for me, I will not know what is happening. I'm gone. I will not be able to be friends with you guys. You guys will not see me come live and stuff like that. So we need to cherish each other, appreciate each other, love one another, care for one another, talk to one another, uh, respect one another. Don't look down on people, because everything that we do, it comes right back to us. We cannot put each other's down. We cannot pull each other down. We have to uplift each other. Abrofudinti life successful no. Obi any adaji a or to say wobɛnya tan ama ne n'adamfo ne nua anaasɛ ne ho kafoɔ te sɛ wontumi ne wo ntena ɔbɛka akyerɛ so wontumi ne wo ntena, but abuse na ɛnyɛ Ghana nko a na ɛkɔ so, ɛnyɛ Nigeria nko a na ɛkɔ, ɛnyɛ other African yi nko a na ɛkɔ, aburokyire ha sɛ beebia ɛkɔ so. Nti no te sɛ, we don't have to limit ourselves. And it's not my job to make somebody happy. It's my job to make myself happy. It's our job to make ourselves happy. So we just need to do more. We need to do more. And I kitwe bi a winim no brabe share. It doesn't have to be your experience. Some of us sometimes you can't say be it me the experience about our brother Brian share his experience. Sister Nana Brian share her experience yesterday. It is sometimes na sembi ebeka no enu timi trigger baby. Most of Africa no, we have been traumatized at some point in our life, but that doesn't mean that we have to limit ourselves to fit into societal norm. We don't have to fit into societal norm. We do the things that make us happy, give us peace of mind, help us grow, and do better for ourselves. We need to be independent and also be wise of our partners that we chooses to stay with. It's not worth your life. Do not burn yourself out and lose your life, die foolish death because of love. Love alone cannot sustain a marriage. There are other coping skills that we need to do to be able to live our life freely. Okay, we cannot be mentally enslaved or mentally tied down because of religion, tradition, culture. I would say, as my American language will allow me, and I'm not breaking the rules. If I offend anybody, I am sorry, I'm apologizing. Fuck all that tradition and shit that is not providing any support for me. Bema wo pɛ me bu a wo nso bu me. Without wo say wo mu me na wo treat me here, I don't have time for you. You can kiss my ass, and that's all I have to say. And me the move see her say, sister, see, don't be a slave to your trauma. Most definitely, our bad past experience to give us room to grow. Write your own script for your life. Bam, I will end here. Sister, yeah, for that, bra. Wa end the program, no. Intimin kasabi. I have said enough. It may not be enough, but I'm done. Okay. So you guys take care of yourself. Enjoy your life. Be safe. And I love each and every one of you. One love to all of you. Mama bye. Yeah.